All right, welcome back to the channel. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's good? What's good? Let's talk this boxing. Let's talk this boxing. Let me make sure I go over here and we have sound. One quick second. I don't have a producer, so I got to do this myself. All right, got it. All working well. All working well. Let me say what's good to everybody. I see my Noop in the building. Chillville, what's going on, man? Jimmy Bernard, man, what's happening with you this morning, man? It says salute to Fernanda Don. What's good to the chat? Ray Patterson in the building. Yeah, we about to get it going, man. What's going on, John Boy? Always, as always, what's happening with you? What's crack-a-lating? My man Nick Sherman Nichols, what's going on, man? Top of the morning. He said, yeah, what a wild weekend. Oh, it was definitely wild. And we get to do the review. You know what, man? I just realized a lot of people, we usually do a review of the fights like on Sunday morning, the morning after the fight. But then on Monday morning, there's a lot of people come by that didn't talk about the fights over the weekend. Yeah, man, there's a lot of wildness going on, man. And honestly, you know, I don't feel bad for Jack Cottrell right about now. I don't, because people do not care about Gary Russell Jr. getting robbed. So I thought to myself, you know what, man? It's a whole lot of hypocrites out here, man. Gary Russell Jr. beat Mark Magsayo with one hand, and I didn't hear any of these cats all up in arms about it. It's some British dudes, man, and British dudes didn't like getting robbed too by a Scotsman. I got to the core of that one. They willing to talk about them dudes getting ripped off, but man, Gary got ripped off. They didn't say nothing about that. But they did say something about, what's his name? I forget the name of the fight. The fight that was maybe like a few months ago. Oh, no, it was last year in July time frame, that big robbery. It wasn't Atlantic's Fox, but who was it? Somebody got robbed big time. Chillville in the building. What's going on, man? Marquis in the building. What's happening, man? Be easy. What's going on, man? Happy Monday, brother. What's going on with you, man? Yeah, man, we're about to chop it up. Start arguing with some people in a second. Viva Tu Vita, what's going on, man? How you feeling, man? Mike Kirkland in the building. Curtis Sewell, what's going on, brother? Oh yeah, to your question, Curtis Sewell in the video that I did. Yeah, man, they can make him the mandatory right away if they want to. There's nothing preventing the WBO from doing that. And they made him the super champ right before that fight. So they knew what they were doing, man. And Bob Arum is definitely, like, some other people left some comments in my video, like talking about Bob Arum doesn't run the WBO. Man, you tripping if you don't think Bob Arum gets what he wants done with the WBO. They do a lot of what Bob Arum wants them to do. A lot. You know what I mean? Bob put the WBO on. Ernie V, what's going on, man? Top of the morning to you. Zach Rich said, Taylor, don't rush to 147. He got to get out of there, man. No joke. He's got to get out of there, man. That dude is draining weight so nasty to make that weight, to make that cut, dude. You can just see how he looks like. He looks anorexic in the press conference, and his mood and his psyche is all off. Because all of that, because how much weight he's dropping to make 140 pounds. He is definitely a guy that he's probably going to be a big 147. He could use the weight. The only problem is he ain't going to be able to beat those dudes at 147 pounds. So, you know, but you better believe that they're going to try to get him that Terence Crawford fight. Bob Arum, I'm telling you, man, don't doubt me on that one. Like I tell you, man, I may be wrong, but don't doubt me. It's the safest bet. It's the safest bet to say that, man. What's going on, Brandon James? Ernie V said Gary Antoine Russell was the best fighter I saw this past weekend. No doubt, absolutely, man. No doubt, man. He looked good, man. I heard cats like call him Andre Berto, man. It's like, man, come on, man. It's like, dude, somebody was on Twitter and said, he had a good performance, but Am I alone in this, or do I catch a little bit of an Andre Berto vibe? Like, he looks good, but he doesn't know how to go to plan B. Like, man, did you watch the fight or not? I mean, literally, the dude, first of all, plan A was working for him. So I don't know why he had to go to plan B. Anyway, when Postol got a little bit of aggressive, he slipped shots, got on the backside, made very very precise adjustments in order for himself to get that win. Man, my man Tyrone Joseph in that Cash App, brother. Thank you so much. He said, "Good morning, OG. Peace and blessings to you and the family, brother." Thank you so much, man. And thank you to everybody that supports in the Super Chat and the Cash App, man. You know there ain't a lot of boxing going on floating the channel. So I appreciate you guys floating the channel, man. It is greatly, greatly appreciated, man. My man Curtis Sewell said Andre's Ward's scoring was garbage. It was. But see, he was. Michael Fox. Thank you. And Maestra, Michael Fox and Maestra. That was the one. Yeah, Andre Ward. I didn't see the card, but at the end, dude, he was like, I know that dude thought that he was. You know what he was doing? Andre Ward is was judging based on like what he thought the judges were doing. Because he said, yeah, even though he's not landing his punches, it's the body language. It's the body language. You got to think about the body language and what the judges will think because this guy's going back. He's not going forward. So Andre Ward, in my opinion, started judging the way that he thought the judges would judge. And as a result, he was right because he pretty much anticipated what those guys were going to score, what they were going to score. That's what I think happened to him because if you listen to what he was saying during the fight, he knew the guy was losing the fight, that he was, as far as the actual boxing going on, that Josh Taylor was losing that fight. Quincy Carter said, Fanon, don't start this Gary Russell stuff this morning. Hey, hell no. I'm trying to tell you right now he's beating Devin Haney. I'm trying to get y'all up and awake. Y'all got work to do. Don't y'all got some work to do? Y'all know y'all need something to get your blood boiled. Because we talked about it yesterday, Quincy Carter. I don't know if were you here yesterday? You were here yesterday. Man, please. I thought about that even more. Nah, man. Devin ain't moving up there to take that fight, man. Y'all better pray that Lomachenko actually doesn't fight him. Because on the real, I wouldn't doubt if he still took that fight. It doesn't sound because they're not announcing. Like, for example, Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk. Usyk joined the military, too, over in the Ukraine. He joined the military. I don't really know if those dudes are going to be out there fighting. They're taking pictures. Not to say anything bad about them, but I think they're taking pictures, man. Like they keep showing those pictures of Vitaly Klitschko, the famous Ukrainian soldier. I think they're doing more. They're going to be doing more PR and supporting of the troops than they are actually fighting. You know what I mean? Loma is crazy to go back and fight a war. Man, hey, what's he supposed to do? Ukraine's not that big, man. And he's always waving the Ukrainian flag. For him to always, hey, dude, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Times of war, you know what you're supposed to do. You know you're getting invaded. If you're getting invaded, they are making everybody fight. They're like, hey, man, you got to fight, man. Otherwise, we're going to lose this country. And honestly, those dudes, even if they do fight, will probably lose their country, provided they don't convince Russia to slow down a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. When you fight for your country, I fight for my country. I would for the United States if somebody invaded it. I ain't down with going over there starting stuff with other people now. That is where I would draw my line. But if somebody was invading Chicago, you know what I mean? Hey, it's got to be what it is, man. Devin Block, what's going on, Devin, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. He said Devin Blocker said he went to plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Hey, man, that dude he looked good, bro. Zako Swab said that's an easy win for Terence. Come on, man. He. First of all, man, men don't typically say he. You know what I mean? That's kind of like that's a little soft sounding. However, I don't think he's going to lose the fight. I don't think he would legitimately lose the fight, but Josh Taylor just lost to that other dude. He just lost to Jack Cantrell. Didn't stop him from giving him the scorecards. If Josh Taylor can foul, grab, forearm, and hold and all kind of crap to get to 12 rounds and he's fighting in Scotland, man, don't be surprised, man. On one side. On the other side, he already got his super gift in front of everybody. So now there should be a lot of pressure on him. You know what I mean? Phil Sloan said, very interesting boxing this past weekend. It was very good boxing, man. I enjoyed it. I was feeling bad for Chris Colbert, though, while the fight was going on. But as it went on, I was like, this guy's just beating him, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't feel sorry for Chris Colbert, because this dude, Hector Garcia, is coming up. And obviously, dude, this guy's the better fighter. So I couldn't even get mad at it. I was like, all right, nah, man, congratulations to Hector Garcia, man, for putting in the work, man, being focused, believing in yourself, and getting that dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, by the way, much love to everybody in the Super Chat and the Cash App. Thank you guys so much for your support, man. Terry Smoot, I have a video. A major channel said that Bivol is a tougher fighter than Beterbiev. What's a major? Do people be talking out the side of their neck, man? And I don't care, man. He's a tougher fight. I couldn't care less. You know what I'm saying about Bivol? Bivol's a tougher man. Bivol ain't going for the kill. Bivol's Bivol, come on, man. Anyway, I'm just sick of the whole thing, bro. I'm sick of the whole thing. I'm sick of the whole thing with Canelo. No joke, man. I have lost all faith. That dude is on fraud land right now. And that's just what it is, man. He's one of those. He's now one of those boxers that happens throughout the history of boxing, of guys that are just media shows. He's a media show. He's taking on the least amount. He's like an old man mode. He's an old man mode. He's a big name. It ain't fighting nobody. And having people come watch him, and they're happy to see him fight second level fighters. Second level fighters. And yeah, I'm definitely calling Bivol a second level fighter. You can whatever, quote me on it. I do not care. There is zero there. Dimitri Bivol is a big version of Victor Postol. He ain't any more talented. He ain't any more skilled. He ain't any more nothing than Victor Postol. He's younger than Victor Postol, so he may have a little bit more in the tank. But at the height of him being him, he is no better than Victor Postol. None. So not a lick better than Victor Postol. And I'm standing by that. And by the way, I don't think Beterbiev is as good as a Vasily Zhirov. Okay, so I'm sorry, man. You guys can try to pub up and give highlight reels of these Eastern European dudes, and these Eastern European dudes are a step up from the UK dudes, though. I will say that. You know what I'm saying? I will say they're a step up, but they're a step down from the Mexicans. So whatever, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe you. I don't think you're about it. I think you're running around. I think you're running around trying to collect people. You're out with a collection plate, talking about other people trying to get payday. You just getting a huge payday. Manuel Esteban said, "Why is Fanon so behind in the chat?" I'm behind in the chat because I'm reading people's comments. I can move up to the bottom and hit Quincy Carter's super chat. Much love in that super chat. He said, missed the chat yesterday. I was on dad duty. I got 5 boy. That's what's up, Quincy Carter. Man, much love in that super chat, brother. Hold on a second. Hold on. Much love in that super chat, brother. Okay, that's what's up. Manuel Esteves, let me ride down to the end. But I did see you. Manuel Esteves said he didn't even try after the 7th round. He was gassed. He was gassed. Straight up and down gassed. He wasn't in shape. He was gassed. He didn't train. That's what it looks like to me. Looks like to me he just wasn't in shape because he just really didn't have any endurance. You know what I mean? And he didn't show a lot of heart, man. He showed a lot of, he showed like a lot of I don't care in the middle of that fight. A lot of it. He looked out of shape and he looked like he didn't care. You know, he's got to care, man. He didn't show any passion. You know what I mean? Hold on. But Dimitri Bivol won every round when he faced the likes of Sullivan Barrera, Joe Smith, and Jean Pascal. So repeat the names, man. When he beat Sullivan Barrera, Joe Smith, and Jean Pascal. So what? Sullivan Barrera, Joe Smith, in John Pascal. So what? Sullivan Barrera got beat by Andre Ward, who had not been in the ring for like a year and a half, 2 years in his first fight in the weight class. And he beat the brakes off that dude. Sullivan Barrera, so what? Joe Smith, triple so what? And Jean Pascal, man, come on, dude. He lost to Bernard. He got beat by Bernard Hopkins years before that when he was 40 years old. None of those guys are world beaters, man. Like I said, Victor Postal can get some good wins too. No joke. Victor Postal put up a good fight against Terence Crawford. I thought Victor Postal beat Jose Ramirez. Victor Postal knocked out Lucas Matisse. I'm not saying they're bad fighters and that they can't beat anybody. I'm just telling you, man, come on, man. They are not top level. They're not top level fighters. They're not the top. Put it this way, he is not David Benavidez. I do not believe it. I don't think he's got the talent of David Benavidez. I don't think he's as good as Jamal Charlo, and I don't believe he's as good as Demetrius Andrade. I don't think so. They don't believe it. They don't look that. He looks very, very basic to me. Very, very basic. Doesn't look impressive. Hasn't had, and you talk about people, oh, well, Errol Spence hasn't had a knockout. And man, Bivol ain't knocked anybody out in 4 years. I'm just not impressed, man. Sorry, I'm just not impressed with Bivol. I know, and matter of fact, they used to pub up Bivol a lot when Bivol first turned pro. And then I looked at him, and eventually people kind of just cooled down on him because he didn't look like anything special. TJ Loves, meanwhile, Jamal barely beating bums. Like, who did he barely beat, liar? Who's the bum he barely beat, TJ? What bum did he barely beat? You have not seen Jamal Charlo close to losing a fight. Stop telling stories, man. You've not seen him close to losing fights. You think somebody he barely beat him because a guy got a round or two? And by the way, 2 guys barely got a round or two. He beat Korobov, Southpaw Korobov, beat him. Bivol ain't any better than Korobov. Bivol ain't any better. Bivol ain't much better than Deverenchenko. But you're cool with those fights? I guess he should fight Deverenchenko and Korobov then. You guys would be screaming about how good those guys are if Canelo was fighting them. But Montiel wins, lands a good punch, and manages not to get knocked out. And now what does that mean for Jamal? Now Jamal is what? Worse than Bivol? Man, get out of here, man. Anyway, y'all keep on lying, and I know you're lying. So keep on lying. You want to see that fight, man. Larry Baldwin, how could you or anybody know about Charlo or Boo Boo without them being in the ring with a top-level fighter? You mean, how could you know? How could anybody know? How do you know about Bivol? How do you watch boxing, Larry Baldwin? Do you watch boxing? Do you not know? Do you not see what people do in the ring and what their attributes in the ring are? That's how you know. You watch them fight. Do you not watch boxing? Or do you always wait you are a BoxRec guy, huh? You know what I'm saying? What do you just go to BoxRec? Read BoxRec. Dude, you do not always have, sometimes fighters don't get the opportunity to fight a top level fighter. But more importantly, other than Canelo Alvarez, who didn't he fight at 154? How's he supposed to do this when they won't fight him? He wanted to fight Canelo. Canelo wouldn't fight him. He's trying to fight the guy. He won't fight him. But he'll fight Bivol. He'll fight Bivol, and he'll fight a 40-year-old Gennady Golovkin. So they are matchmakers for a reason. Exactly, dude, because people can... That's you dudes that don't know boxing like that. I can look at a fighter and be like, man, that dude is going to be trouble on that guy. Because it's a style thing, man. Dude, they don't want to give him credit for J-Rock. They don't want to give him credit for Cornelius K9 Bundridge, even though Bundridge was an older fighter. You know what I mean? He's an older fighter. I'm not screaming that K9 was the best fighter in the world. He's a decent fighter. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you that Jermall Charlo got wins against a bunch of Hall of Famers. He doesn't. However, dude, I can look at the dude in the ring and I know perfectly well that guy can fight, and so do you. So why you keep lying? You know what I mean? What about Bivol makes Bivol better than Charlo or better than Andrade? Man, come on, man. If I had to look at who Canelo's beaten, I wouldn't think Canelo's that good. On the real, who is Canelo beat that is some super fighter? Who? None. Canelo Alvarez to date has not beaten some Hall of Fame level fighter. In my opinion, he ain't beat him. In many people's opinion, the only Hall of Famer fighter that he has actually beat, like that was not old when he fought him or coming up from lightweight, was Gennady Golovkin. And these guys think that guy, then people think he lost to him. Come on, man. You think Canelo Alvarez is the best in the world by beating Callum Smith? But you're like, who did Charlo beat? He beat his people as good as Callum Smith. Callum Smith is not a lick better than J-Rock. Callum Smith ain't better than J-Rock. Caleb Plant ain't better than J-Rock. Those dudes are not any better than J-Rock. They're not any better than him, man. But you're trying to give these dudes credit. You're giving these dudes credit. Who is Charlo? I mean, seriously, who is Canelo beaten convincingly that is some great fighter? Nobody. And he hasn't even fought one in years. And he, unlike Jermall Charlo, Canelo has a choice. Dead or fed entertainment. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much for holding down the chat, brother. Thank you so much, man. Man, I'm just telling you, man. Look, dude, it's just fraudulent at this point in time. It's fraudulent. Come on, man. Will you please be a boxing fan for a second? Canelo Alvarez's last opponents have been I'm going to go backwards on this. If he gets through this year, a 40-year-old Gennady Golovkin, Bivol, Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, Yaldemir, Callum Smith, Rocky Fielding. Come on, man. Come on, man. You cannot tell me you think that is something worthy of being a pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Dude, that man is making the competition level of Terence Crawford look like Muhammad Ali. I'm telling you. He's making Terence Crawford's competition look like a murderer's row. Get out of here, man, with this nonsense, man. The dude is fighting a bunch of Europeans. And you cannot tell me that any time in boxing that has ever been some great... Man, people would look at you crazy for that. Except for Canelo fans. But anyway, Blacksmith Rock said, big up on the channel. Press the like button. People who support Canelo know one thing, and that's Benavidez and Charlo can destroy all the fighters Canelo beat. Bivol is good but basic. Charlo beats him. Yeah, Charlo beats him and Benavidez beats him. Much love in that super chat. And quiet as kept. Dude, I think you could get guys. I think you guys got you. Dude, he's just big. That's it. They're selling the idea that he's big. That's it. That's it. Why is he tougher? Because he's taller. He's tougher because he's taller. He's fought one guy, and he lost to Mayweather, a blown-up featherweight, man. Get out of here. He's a hype. I'm trying to tell you, man, I'm sick. Dude, he's a good fighter and all that stuff, man, but for real, no. He gets nothing. Out of me, you're not getting any credit for that, man. Charlo is not beating Bivol. How do you know? How do you know that he's not beating Bivol? He wouldn't be the first guy from 160 to move to 175. Dude, it's one weight class. What are you talking about? He's a middleweight. There are plenty of middleweights that went to 175 and beat guys at 175. Plenty of them. And you don't have any reason in the world to believe Bivol is going to beat Charlo. Or he's going to beat Andrade. Or he's going to beat David Benavidez. You're just saying it because he's taller. That's it. You're not going to tell me. You see, it's just, man, stop, man. It really, you guys are depressing. Seriously, you're bad for boxing and you're depressing. Giovanni Walker said, Fanon, the trolls were waiting on you this morning. Dog, I don't care. Good Canelo bots. Let me be the one to tell you it's a fraud. All right. You already know who's going to win that fight. You already know it because you've seen the fight 6 times in a row. Stop it. Oh, Fahim Sator said, hey, man, much love for the people that's supporting in the super chat while these haters are in here because you know how that goes. Fahim Sator said, who the F had Bivol beaten on the level of Charlo Andrade? Oh, you didn't hear Fahim? Sullivan Barrera and Joe Smith. And John Pascal. They beat Sullivan Barrera. He beat Sullivan Barrera coming off of a loss. Joe Smith probably coming off of a loss. And John Pascal coming off multiple losses. Man, get out of here with that dude, man. Ain't nobody thinking about nobody's Bivol, man. Like, for real. I can't believe you guys are really trying to pass off Bivol as somebody you wanted to see this guy fight. You just will take anything that man wants to give you. And it's garbage. Jose Rodriguez, the last person Canelo beat who had a resume was Cotto. Yeah, pretty much. Charlo, oh, I like this one. David Castro, Charlo should fight GGG, then everyone can talk crap. Why? Gennady Golovkin will not fight him. David Castro, how is he supposed to fight him when the man won't fight him? Gennady Golovkin's not going to fight him. How's he going to fight him? He won't fight him. He won't fight Demetrius Andrade either. Neither one of those guys will fight him. Gennady Golovkin wants to fight Ray Mayorga. He does not want to fight Jermall Charlo, and he does not want to fight Demetrius Andrade. Do you know why? Because he's 40 years old, and he knows dang well he's going to lose. And he's sitting around waiting to get his redemption with Canelo. Come on, man. You're acting like anybody wants to fight these guys. Hey, Burksaw said Kambosos, he probably bet on himself. Oh, man, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Manuel Esteban said he has a cinnamon fight after his tune-up. Dude, seriously, I hope the dude gets beat. No joke. And I don't understand why Gennady Golovkin, I don't understand why Bivol's getting this fight with Canelo. Isn't he Russian? I thought the world was against Russia right now. He's supporting the invasion. My understanding is he supports the invasion of Ukraine. I know that they would not put that fight on with somebody that he's Russian, isn't he? I believe he's Russian. And by the way, I'm just joking. I don't know this for sure. Yeah, he's Russian. So they shouldn't be having this fight, should they? They shouldn't even be having the fight. They said they're not sanctioning fights in Russia. But you know what they said originally? Originally, they said they're not going to sanction championship fights that include Russians. But then they switched that up real quick when they remembered Canelo was cherry picking one. So then, yeah, okay. Man, get out of here with Bivol, man. And I'm guaranteeing you, dude, I guarantee you that if David Benavidez moved up and fought that dude, he's knocking out Bivol. Man, stop that, man. Go said the WBO talking about stripping Russians. Yeah, but they're going to wait till after the Canelo fight to make that decision. They're going to wait till Canelo gets that belt, and then they'll do it. They're not going to do it with Canelo and take that money. Charlo bro called him out for ducking Canelo. Man, shut up, Juan. That's a lie. You guys will you stop it? Will you stop it? His brother, that amazes me. He said that he would never turn down a fight with Canelo. That's what he said. He didn't say his brother turned down a fight with Canelo. You guys are amazing. Offer to fight again then. Offer to fight again. And see if he turns it down. Jermall Charlo has been saying he wants to fight that guy. But he didn't want to fight him all the time. Man, dude, you're a liar. Like, seriously. That's what you're reduced to. You're reduced to just saying he's a duck. Is Andrade? Let me ask you a question. Is Andrade ducking him too? And Benavidez, they all turned down the fight, right? Is that the newest lie? When you know dang well that this guy is fighting at somebody that nobody cares about. Nobody wanted this. Nobody asked for the fight. Nobody's anticipating the fight. All you're doing is being happy that you get to see Canelo walk in the ring. That's it. And you aren't even going to, you're not even going to pay for the fight. I'm glad that they charging you bums $80 for that. So you can stop freeloading. Talk about what you want to see Canelo Alvarez fight. No dang well you ain't paying for that fight, man. No dang well you can. The real boxing fans are the ones that buy Canelo Alvarez fights, and they're sick of seeing these things. I buy pay-per-views. I bought Canelo Alvarez pay-per-views, and I'm sick. And only thing I was happy about with at the Zone is that I didn't have to pay anything extra for that stuff. Anything extra for that. But now you're charging $80. I'm telling you, I'm getting my stream ready. I am not paying $80 for Bivol. I am not paying $80 for Gennady Golovkin again. Not going to do it. Not happening. Forget it. Okay? I would rather pay my money for a Luis Ortiz, Charles Martin fight than to pay for Canelo Alvarez to get taken advantage of by Canelo Alvarez with this Bivol nonsense when there are other fighters, when the other fighters I want to see. I'm not giving Canelo Alvarez a red cent. I promise you. I am streaming that fight, and I'm proudly streaming the fight. And when I call the fight on my channel, I will allow people to put links in the chat. You got me messed up if you think I'm paying anything for that dude. I'll pay for DAZN because DAZN has Alyssa Baumgardner fights and things like that, has women's boxing on there that is the best. DAZN has the best women's boxing. I will pay for that. I'll pay to see this Amanda Serrano-Katie Taylor fight. No problem. But I am not paying for Canelo Alvarez to fight Bivol. I am not paying for that Gennady Golovkin fight. No way, no how. Forget it. George Wood said, since his recent fight, which was most say he lost to Cottrell, do you now still think Taylor can beat Haney? Yes. Absolutely. I think he can beat. Yes. Much love in that super chat. Yes, I do. Number one, he's not a southpaw like Cottrell. Number two, he's not as big as Cottrell, and he does not hit as hard as Cottrell. And number three, Josh Taylor is so dirty. He is so dirty that he will mug will mug the dude. He's just so dirty, man. He's so dirty, like I said on Twitter. It's impressive. Man, George Woods, brother, thank you so much for your support in the chat. Thank you so much. Haney will not punish Taylor, bro. He don't have the ability to punish people. How's he going to punish him? He couldn't punish Jojo Diaz. How are you going to punish him? If you can't punish Jorge Linares, how are you going to punish Josh Taylor? Seriously. I'm just telling you. I ain't in the mood no more. All right? He'll outbox him. There you go. Say he'll outbox him. There's a chance for that. There's a chance for that. Punish him? No. I don't believe it. I ain't going to believe it till I see that one. That is worse. I'll do y'all like you do every time I do a video about he said he gonna rough Devin up to death. He's gonna, man, let me tell you, Fahim. Did you see the straight forearms to the face by how many forearms to the face Josh Taylor pulled off on Cottrell? Like under the guise of, like, he'll stick his jab out, right? He'll stick his jab on this side and just sweep his forearm and fist across the dude's face. Like, he puts head control and just puts, man, really, he worked on that stuff. He's got that down pat, dude. It looks like, unless you're looking carefully, you don't realize. I'm like, God dog, this dude literally just walked up to him and literally, boom, double forearmed him in the face. Double forearmed him in the face. He had a high guard, got up close and went boom, and hit the dude in the face with both forearms at the same time. Like, man, whoa, dude, come on, man. Come on, man. Ain't nobody scared of there's no reason to be scared of Josh Taylor. I'm just telling you, though, Josh Taylor's dirty. Asante L said Taylor is dirty. He almost as dirty as Fury. Man, I think he's more dirty than Fury. I think he's dirtier than, well, he's more consistent with it than Fury. Fury does it when he's down. If you score on Fury or you hurt Fury, then he goes into full-fledged dirty as can be mode. Without a doubt, he goes savage on you. Completely savage. All rules thrown out. Don't care what the ref says. All of that. Going to make the ref take a point from him. He'll make the ref take a point from him. Twice. And he'll probably still keep doing it. Right? Because the ref ain't there. And then he does it on the other side. The way he was doing it on the other side of the ref. Oh, man. Josh Taylor is expert at that, bro. Louis A. Fanon, I think Haney punished Linares. He beat the dog. He shot him for 11 rounds. Come on, Louis. No, he didn't. He won the fight, man. No, he didn't. He won the fight. No, he didn't. No, they didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Did not beat the dog ish out of him, man. Let me see. Who beat the dog ish out of somebody lately? Man, somebody who got beat. Who got the dog, like a beat down, a savage beat down. Oh man, my first thought is that Scottish fighter on the undercard, that Scottish heavyweight championship on the undercard of Taylor Cottrell, man, that was hilarious. That fat dude had the brakes beaten off of him, man. But nah, man, yeah, Amir Khan got the brakes beaten off. There you go. Amir Khan got the brakes beaten off of him by Kell Brook. That's getting the brakes beaten off you, man. Says sparring session, Devin beats everybody. No doubt he's gonna beat everybody in the sparring session, except for Shakur Stevenson. But no, in the real, man, seriously. And I don't have him. Oh nah, Chris Colbert didn't get the dog-ish beaten out of him. He got beaten in that fight. No joke. He didn't get the dog. He didn't open himself up to enough to get really beat down. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, Stevenson beat the hell out of he beat Jamel Herring, man. He beat the brakes off Jamel Herring. You know what I mean? He beat the brakes off that man because he chose to run. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't run. He just covered up. He covered up. He didn't know what to do, man. Hey, Robert Robles, much love. Hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm so used to you super chat, man. Much love, and that's all your past super chats, Robert Robles. Let me gong you for that too. You said, hey, Fanon, people are getting tired of paying for BS competition. Soon his own people going to turn on him. Dude, I'm telling you, man, his fight's not going to do big numbers, man. He's not going to do big numbers in that fight, man. That's trash, man. I'm done with that trash. I'm not paying for that trash. And honestly, man, dude, invest a PBC. Why don't you invest some money? Why don't you invest some money in Jaron Ennis? Okay? Why don't you build some black fighters, PBC? You went on ahead and built up Canelo and where'd it get you? And thought you was gonna get cute, not letting Keith Thurman get that Mayweather fight and giving it to Canelo. There you go. Yeah, you were able to get them. He got bought. You know what I'm saying? Chris McClain said EJ beat the brakes off Danny Garcia. Much love in that super chat. Hey man, Chris McClain, man, much love, man. You know what? I saw that fight in person, so I really couldn't tell from my seat. I know he kept beating on him though. He said literally Blue Street should have had Martin ref in the fight. Hey man. He was he definitely got break. I started watching in around 10. I went to sleep in round 10. I was like, man, this fight is over, dude. There ain't even no need for me to watch this. He ain't coming back from this. Marvin Banks, Thurman would have got spanked by Mayweather too. Hey, man, who knows? Who knows? I don't know that. He would have got spanked by Thurman. Thurman was young. It was a good time for Thurman, man, at that time, man. No joke. It was a good time for Thurman at that time. But he probably would have lost. Hey, man, y'all supporting big in that Cash App, brother. Thank you so much for the support. My man, John Boy in that Cash App, brother. Thank you so much for that support. Thank you so much. You didn't even leave a comment, man. Dang, man. And Phil Sloan said, I'm sorry. I messed your name up. So I'm sorry for giving it. LZ Sloan said, Just keep speaking the truth, brother. Thank you so much, man. Much love in that Cash App, brother. Much love in that Cash App. And my man, once again, my man Tyrone 84 in the building said Canelo is a really good fighter, but a better ducker. Hey, man, no doubt, man. Just like, man, fight somebody, man. Anybody trying to hear all this nonsense, man. You know what I'm saying? Regis and Tank, give me Tank. Hey, I do said Floyd would have beat the bitch, beat him out. Hey, well, prove it, man. I'd love to see him fight him. I'd love to see the fight. Fahim, you think you're gonna beat everybody though. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, he probably would have beat Thurman. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be, but it didn't matter. It made us, maybe would have made a star out of Thurman. You know what I mean? Maybe would have made a star out of Thurman losing. Like losing a lopsided oh, that's me. Oh, that's what's up. That's me too. Hey, Phil Sloan in that building, man. Let me hit that for you, brother. Much love in that Cash App, brother. Thank you so much, man. Ara. Hey, Ara. Let me tell you how long you're going to last in this chat trying to instigate stuff. Not long. Fury beat the brakes off Wilder. Yeah, he did. And guess what? Wilder dented that can. When you see that, you know how Foreman said, you remember when Frazier said about Ali, when you hear that man mumbling when he gets old, remember it was me. When you see Tyson Fury laid on his back from somebody hitting him with like a jab or something, remember Deontay Wilder busted that can wide open. Remember that. Remember that dome piece. Terrell Boxley in that Cash App, brother. I appreciate you. And you got a refund for some reason, but I'm going to still get you. I told you Nello wasn't about that life. You right, Terrell Boxley. Terrell Boxley, 100% right. Ben told me he ain't about that life. I'm done with him now, though. I rode with Canelo Alvarez for years, man. No joke. I rode with Canelo Alvarez for years. That's why all you people telling me I'm a Canelo Alvarez hater, you guys just showed up to the channel and you're full of it. Because I got more slack for defending Canelo Alvarez for the last 4 years than no doubt about it. A ton of slack for defending Canelo Alvarez. I used to defend Canelo Alvarez all the time until one thing happened. He tested positive. And I still supported him even though he tested positive. The only thing that I did is say I can't put that man on the pound for pound, but he's a great fighter. He's this, he's that. I used to do highlight reels with Canelo, all kind of stuff. I had Canelo Alvarez. I would say Canelo Alvarez, if it wasn't for that test, I would have him as my number one pound for pound fighter. I would have people talking all kind of crap about me, not crap about me, because I would say Canelo's a great fighter. They man, he's a great cheater. All kind of stuff people would come at me on because I was a supporter of Canelo. And now you guys want to jump out here and a bunch of Johnny-come-latelys and talk about how I'm a Canelo Alvarez hater. And that's not true. What I am is somebody that's sick of it. And once I'm proven wrong, I'm going to admit that I was wrong. I thought once Canelo got away from that DAZN contract, Canelo would then start fighting tough competition. And you know why I said that? Because Canelo Alvarez is Mexican. And in the back of my mind, I was like, Mexican fighters don't do that. The great Mexican fighters will fight anybody. They will go to war with anybody. And I'm going to tell you this, there is more examples of black fighters being duck artists than there are of Mexican fighters being duck artists. And I mean that. I didn't think it was possible for this dude to be the best Mexican fighter and be a duck artist. I'm telling you, I didn't think it was possible. I was like, I thought Mexican champions were hardwired at taking the toughest fights that they can and even getting glory if they lost. But that's not Canelo, man. Canelo is what people have been saying about Canelo. He's a showcase fighter. Period. And when people talk about the greatest Mexican fighters, no way in the world am I going to list Canelo Alvarez in that. No way. Juan Manuel Marquez fought everybody. Jose Luis Castillo fought everybody. Marco Antonio Barrera fought everybody. Eric Morales fought everybody. Oscar De La Hoya fought everybody. Fernando Vargas would fight anybody. Mikey Garcia would fight anybody. Not Canelo, though. So you can say what you want. I'm a fan of Mexican boxing, and I was shocked that Canelo Alvarez is doing this. It's seriously, do not tell me about all that pride y'all got no more, because your boy is a punk. No joke. Your boy, and he's a punk that can fight, but he's a punk running around in silk pajamas. I mean, who would have thought that the so-called greatest Mexican fighter of today would run around, would be jumping off of Lear jets wearing blue silk pajamas and ducking everybody that has a half a chance of fighting them. And I'm serious about that. I like Mexican fighters. That dude ain't behaving like all that stuff y'all used to talk about. Oh, the Mexican warriors, this and that. Canelo ain't that. He is not that. That is not Julio Cesar Chavez. It's not. And quite honestly, I almost got more respect at this point in time for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. because he can't fight a lick and will still get out there to get beat up. Anyway, Juan Garza said won't pay for Canelo versus Bivol, but is okay with Charlo fighting Montiel, who was KO'd by Munguia. Charlo struggles with BNC fighters. First of all, no, I will not pay for Canelo Alvarez versus Bivol. You're right. But am I okay with Charlo fighting Montiel? No, I'm not. I want him to fight Charlo. I want him to fight Canelo. I'm not okay with Charlo fighting Montiel. I want him to fight Canelo. What are you talking about? That's easy money. See, I want Charlo to fight Canelo. What do you think I'm asking for? It's you that don't want Canelo to fight Charlo. See the logic there? I want Charlo to fight Canelo. I want Errol Spence Jr. to fight Terence Crawford. I want Terence Crawford to fight Errol Spence Jr. I wanted Deontay Wilder to fight Tyson Fury. I wanted Deontay Wilder to fight Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua fanboys didn't want Anthony Joshua fighting Deontay Wilder. Canelo Alvarez fanboys don't want Canelo Alvarez to fight Charlo. You're the one not asking for a fight. I want Charlo to fight Demetrius Andrade. I want him to fight Gennady Golovkin. I want to see him fight David Benavidez. You are never going to hear me make videos about fights I don't want to see. You're the one saying they don't want to see him. But let's go to the last sentence, Mr. Garza. Charlo struggles with B and C class fighters. You've never even seen Charlo fight a C class fighter. What do you mean? Who's the C class fighter? Who's the B class fighter that he struggled with? What do you mean struggled? He lost a round or two? Let me tell you, he didn't lose to a blown up 130-pound fighter that was damn near 40 years old. Did he? He didn't lose. Charlo did. He didn't lose. Canelo did. He doesn't have any draws on his record. Canelo does. Ain't nobody running around talking about he lost to Erislandy Lara. Canelo did. Nobody's running around saying he got gift decisions against Gennady Golovkin twice. Canelo does. And guess what? I still want to see Charlo fight Canelo. How about you ask for a fight being made instead of justifying why fights are not being made? You think Bivol is some big superstar though, right? Man, stop it. Anyway, hey man, but much love in that super chat, brother. And I mean that with a lot, and I mean that with a lot of respect too. I really do. But just think about what you're saying. I want Canelo to fight Charlo. I'm not the one sitting here saying he shouldn't fight him. You're the one saying Canelo shouldn't fight Charlo. If Charlo is losing to B and C class fighters, fight him then. He got $100 million. He got offered $100 million to fight those guys that are fighting B and C class fighters. And he still wouldn't fight them. Why isn't he fighting them? Why is this the third weight class where he won't fight him? If Charlo's so easy. If he's just some guy that is a bum, that's just a bum killer. Why? But he can fight Yeldrum, right? You're okay with him fighting Yeldrum, but you're not okay with him fighting Charlo? See, something don't make sense about that. That you're okay with him fighting Yeldrum, but you're not okay with him fighting Charlo. Why is that? Do you think Yildirim is better than Charlo? Yildirim got knocked out with one shot against Chris Eubank 2 years before that in the World Series of Boxing. Why are you okay with that fight? See, that's the problem. People that want to see Charlo, they want to see him fight Canelo. You guys are trying to find reasons for Canelo not to fight people. Duck artist, you're supporting it. And you empower this trash. I've never heard a Terence Crawford fan say that they did not want to see that fight. None of them. I ain't hear any Errol Spence Jr. fans saying they do not want to see Crawford fight. Well, Crawford was only fighting these bums. He's only doing this. He's struggled. They say all of that. But at the end of the day, you know what they say? They say they want to see the fight. At the end of the day, they say they want to see the fight. Where you guys come is acting like those AJ fans. You end with this. I don't want to see the fight. For some mystery reason that you pull out of your backside. You don't want to see the fight. You're the one that doesn't want to see your guy in there with Charlo. And that's a fact. You don't want to see your guy fight Charlo. And my question is, why? Either you think he's going to lose, or you just don't want to see that guy get an opportunity at all. It's one or the other. You either think Canelo's going to lose, or you don't want to see Jermall Charlo get a payday. That's the only logic. Because you can't say that it's because you don't want to see it because you know Canelo's is gonna win. Because, dude, you know he's gonna beat Bivol. And don't act like you don't know that dude is gonna beat Bivol. You know why? Because he wouldn't take the fight if he wasn't gonna beat him. They signed a 2-fight deal. You don't see people offering Terence Crawford a 2-fight deal to fight Errol. You only sign 2-fight deals when you know you're getting through it. He signed a 2-fight deal. And he's already talking about what he's going to do in December. Right? Nobody acting like he ain't going to get to Gennady. Oh, yeah, when he gets done with Bivol, we get to see the Gennady Golovkin fight. Nobody's saying that about Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Oh, as soon as Terence beats Errol, oh, he's on to Charlo. You don't even hear that, man. But you hear it there. But you hear it with your boy. And no, I'm not paying for him, bro. Hey, Robert Rose said, thanks, OG. It's not easy keeping up in the chat, brother. Much love, man. Robert Rose, thanks so much for that support. And you know I'm telling the truth. Listen. Hey, Deborah Booker said, I hate to say it, Fanon, but Chris Colbert sort of got the brakes beaten off of him. Just my opinion. Hey, there's no worries. Like I said, he definitely got beat up. Ain't no joke. George Wood said, Fanon, I'm just curious, in a 10-rounder, Money versus Kel, Money versus Thurman, who makes the most money and most popular? In a 10-rounder, Money versus Kel, Money versus Thurman. Because it's U.S. based. It's U.S. based. Floyd Mayweather Jr. fighting in America because really either one, but more than likely Thurman. But either one, as long as Floyd Mayweather Jr. fights in Vegas. And that's another thing. Dude, if Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought Kell Brook in a real fight in Vegas, he will outdo everything Canelo's ever done in his career. Right there. So you can take that face of boxing stuff and shove it. Because that dude is not as big as Floyd Mayweather Jr. Still. And he's nowhere near as big as Oscar De La Hoya was. And Oscar De La actually fought people. Never went through any nonsense like this, man. Never did. Donnie D said, gunslingers travel if they hear about a fast gun. You know what it is. Much love in that super chat, brother. You know what it is. And that's just the truth about your boy. It's just the truth about Canelo. And like I said, I was always a supporter of Canelo. I wasn't somebody who was blasting on Canelo. I wasn't blasting on him. But now you guys are ridiculous because you just are making up excuses for not wanting to see fights, bro. And skipped him for less money. Juan Garcia said he got 160 to fight on the zone. He gains nothing fighting Charlo. Charlo isn't a superstar. At least Bivol has a title. First and foremost, Juan Garza, no, he did not get $160 million to fight on DAZN. That is a lie. No, he did not get 160. That is some concoction that people came up to justify him passing up $100 million for 2 fights. But once again, let me go to this. You are justifying he isn't a superstar and Bivol is. And guess what? Charlo does have a title. He's the 160-pound champion. He does have a title. But now you think there's something exceptional about fighting Bivol for the WBA 168-pound title? Oh yeah, it's the belt. At least he has a belt. He would get more money for fighting Canelo. It was a bigger offer for Jamal than it was for Bivol. And it is not $160 million, it's $85. Some clown jumped out there with $160 just to say that. The offer that was said, that was released by Mike Coppinger, was $85 million for 2 fights. Canelo got offered $100 million for 2 fights for Showtime. But aside from that, Charlo isn't a superstar. What superstar is Bivol fighting? Because Bivol has a title, so does Jamal. Guess what title he has? He has the same weight class title as Gennady Golovkin, and Gennady Golovkin's not a superstar either. You're making excuses for that guy not fighting, man, and there ain't no way around it. You don't want to see him fight Charlo. Period. And he didn't get 160. He got 85. 85. Shame, man. You got your boy out there acting like you supporting that. You supporting. And let me ask you another question before I do that. What fight do you want to see? Because you're paying money, you ain't getting paid. Who do you want to see? What fight do you want to see? You want to see him fight the superstars? There is no superstar there. I thought Canelo was the only superstar in boxing. So Charlo's got to be a superstar to fight Canelo. How is he going to be a superstar if he doesn't get an opportunity to fight the guy? How do you become a bit superstar if people like you make arguments that he shouldn't even get on the stage? You're making excuses for your boy ducking, man. Period. Reasons, excuses, whatever. He's not big enough a star, but Yildirim is. He got paid $160 million. No, he did not. It's 85. And he turned down 100. That's what Steven Espinoza said. He said, we made a bigger offer than they did. Charlo just took less money for less risk. Bivol and an old Gennady Golovkin is what you want to see, honestly. At least Charlo's in his prime. Benavidez is a young fighter in his prime. Come on, man. Stop doing that, man. It's not fair. It's not good for boxing. It's terrible, bro. Seriously. But I do appreciate your mother. Much love in that super chat, bro. And I mean that. Quincy Carter said, what did he gain by fighting Yildirim? Money. Money and highlights. An easy fight is what he got. Juan Garlo, I said Charlo isn't a star either. Okay, Charlo isn't a superstar either. Who did I say wasn't a superstar? Juan Garza? I never said anybody was a superstar. So what do you mean he's not a superstar either? You're acting in that sentence like I said that any of these guys are superstars. I didn't. I know Jamal Charlo got a bigger fan base than Bivol, though. I know that. I know that much. Jamal Charlo is a bigger star than Bivol is. When does Bivol headline cards? Seriously, when's the last Bivol fight you watched? Really? And seriously, I mean that. When is the last Bivol fight that you've heard any excitement for at all? Charlo's a bigger name than Bivol, but more importantly, man, he's a better fighter. He's a better fighter than Bivol is. He's a better fighter than Dimitri Bivol. Better. And they've been in the same weight class, and we've been talking about this weight. We've literally been talking about this fight for 5 years, man. This one, Jamal Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez, was one of the bigger fights that you could make in boxing 5 years ago, and nothing has changed. Bivol is not a big fight at all. It's not. It's not a big fight. Nobody asked for it. Nobody talks about it. You don't hear anybody with any passion for it. The whole conversation about Bivol is, why isn't it Charlo? Come on, man. Give boxing fans some respect, man. People have been asking for this fight for 5 years, and you're just trying to act like nobody's asking for it. Come on, man. You guys got an entire line full of excuses that you can pull out of your pocket because you got so many people to pull it out of your pocket too. You know people want this fight, man. You know it. Stop acting like people don't want this fight. The only people that do not want this fight is Canelo Alvarez's fanboys. That's it. Those are the only people that do not want this fight. DAZN and Canelo Alvarez's fanboys and Canelo. That's it. Everybody else knows full well if you had to pick one fight for Canelo Alvarez, that is Canelo Alvarez versus Jamal Charlo. You sound like an Errol Spence Jr. fan saying nobody wants a Terence Crawford fight. That's how long people have been trying to get Canelo Alvarez to fight Jamal Charlo. That's how long, man. Come on, man. Seriously, man. Anyway, he gains nothing fighting Charlo. Man, stop that. What do you mean he doesn't gain anything by beating Charlo? What does he gain by beating? If he doesn't gain anything by beating Charlo, what does he gain by beating anybody? And I mean it. What does he gain by fighting Bivol that he doesn't get from Charlo? Man, y'all are liars, man. I mean, seriously, bro. Please, don't fanboy, man. It's serious. It's depressing. It's depressing, man. Listen to people fanboy like that, man. Come on, you know what he gets out of it. He gets to shut people up, man. I don't see anybody beating. Might as well make history getting belts. What history does he get making belts? That shit's already been done, Juan. What history does he make? To be the first undisputed at 168, that is not historic at all. That's not historic. He might as well make history getting belts. He does not have more belts than how's he going to get more belts than Manny Pacquiao? Manny Pacquiao's like a 6th division champion. And who cares to boot? What history do you make? People do not know. As a matter of fact, tell me what belt Henry Armstrong held. You talk about the fights, man. You make history by beating the best fighters, having the best fights. You're make-believe in this history crap, man. More garbage, dude. Anyway, seriously, man, you guys are terrible for boxing with that nonsense. It's just ridiculous, bro. Like, oh, he might as well go for the belts. No, he might as well not go for the belts, bro. Hey, good morning, bro. No one paying for that Canelo. Man, I'm not paying. Nobody's paying that nonsense. Much love in the super chat, bro. Exactly. Right there what Fahim Sator said. Canelo's knees are shot. He ain't trying to fight anyone with any type of lateral movement. Except for a guy that can't punch. Like Caleb Plant. Anyway, man. Frequent Flyer said, Fanad, how come you ain't let us block you know who yet? He keeps hijacking the chat. Dog, he says no problems, man. I don't mind. A dude super chat. He's supporting the chat. Why would you block somebody supporting the chat, brother? I don't mind what he says. I mean, that's his opinion. You know what I mean? I guess that's his opinion. But sometimes you just don't see through that, man. You're literally making an argument for not fighting somebody that everybody at the time wants to see fight, so that somebody in the future can give him some publicity. Like, no, we don't care about what he's doing right now. We care about what he can say he did 10 years from now. I mean, seriously. Seriously. And that blocks, it's just ridiculous. The man is just a ducker, man. It's just garbage, man. Seriously. Anyway, Mike Kirkland said, "You've been speaking nothing but the truth about Canelo to me. Fanboys of Canelo, I just don't get it, man. Dude, they don't want to see that dude fight Charlo. They're justifying what the man's doing, man. That's when you're a fanboy, man." Quincy Carter said, "Being honest here, there's just defending Canelo because he's Latino. I don't know if he's just, I don't know. Just because he's Latino, I don't know, man. All I'm telling you is I'm not paying for that crap." Anyway, Terry Schmool Jr. said, "Canelo is doing it for history and legacy. You hate Mexico." Man, come on, man. That dude is nowhere near Oscar De La Hoya. And I mean it, dude. That dude ain't nowhere near Oscar De La Hoya. People keep telling me that Canelo caught up to Floyd Mayweather Jr. And I keep thinking, first of all, he's got to catch up with Oscar De La Hoya. Like, when is he going to catch up with Oscar De La Hoya? You keep talking about Canelo. You keep talking about what he's doing with Floyd. Dude, he ain't making nowhere near Floyd. First of all, with the money, he's not making anywhere near what Floyd Mayweather Jr. is making, man. You kidding me? Floyd Mayweather Jr. would laugh, no joke, at the end of his career, when he's the face of boxing, that dude is laughing at a $50 million fight, man. Laughing at a $50 million fight. Like, man, what is this? Man, Oscar De La Hoya is Mexican. He was Mexican when he was there. He got just as many Mexican fans as Canelo does. Hardcore Mexicans didn't like, from what I can see, hardcore Mexicans, and this outside looking in, obviously, hardcore Mexican fans didn't like Oscar De La Hoya, and hardcore Mexican fans do not like Canelo Alvarez. Both ways. Both ways. However, even if you say he's not Mexican, which is you guys' problem, all right, not mine, he ain't caught up with Oscar De La Hoya, so stop talking about him catching up with Floyd Mayweather Jr. I know he's trolling. Don't talk about him catching up with Floyd when he got to catch up with Oscar De La Hoya. No joke. Don't talk to him about catching up with Floyd when he got to catch up to Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, I'm wondering when this dude passed up Sugar Ray Leonard. No joke. When did he catch up with Sugar Ray Leonard? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, when did you keep wanting him to be bigger than Floyd? He's not. You know how he's the only way that he can get as big as Floyd is if he fights somebody that is a superstar and they're not out there. Or if he has a hellified fight with somebody and then he rematches them. It's not out there for him. Because he waited until Gennady Golovkin turned 90 to even consider a rematch with him. Man, y'all are just terrible, bro. Yeah, Juan Manuel Marquez, he doesn't have a bigger win than Juan Manuel Marquez. And I don't think he's proved he's a better fighter than Juan Manuel Marquez. Not in the ring, he hasn't. My opinion, Juan Manuel Marquez beat Manny Pacquiao like 3 out of 4 times. Beat him and knocked him out dead on his face. You know what I mean? And Juan Manuel Marquez put up a better fight against Floyd Mayweather Jr. than Canelo did. So on the real, I don't know if Canelo's a better fighter than Juan Manuel Marquez, honestly. And Juan Manuel Marquez never got caught on steroids. So no, I'm not there with that. Blacksmith Ross said, "I see Canelo fans aren't ashamed, and super biased. You make history by fighting the best like Mayweather and De La Hoya. Canelo thinks Rocky Fielding is better than Charlo. Julio Chavez #1. No doubt, man. I mean, they just, this is ridiculous. Much love in that super chat, bro. RJ Fernandez said, "Nah, you tripping Mexicans love Canelo. Some do, and there's a whole lot that don't." Nah, sorry, friend. There's RJ Fernandez. I have a boxing channel, and there's a lot of Mexicans that do not like that guy. Okay? And matter of fact, you know who said a lot of Mexicans don't like him? Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia said, a lot of Mexicans don't like Canelo because, and he listed the reason. Would you like me? I'm not going to play the guy's video, but no, there's a lot of Mexicans that do not like Canelo. There are Mexicans that love Canelo, without a doubt. But there's a whole lot of Mexicans that don't like Canelo. A whole lot of them. Sorry, that is not unanimous love over there because he's acting like a punk. No joke. And if you do, y'all done turned into some punks. No joke. I'm trying to tell you. Phil Sloan, only casual boxing fans like Canelo. I mean, at this point, he will sell out Mexican stadiums all day. So what? Let me ask you a question. RJ Fernandez. Who in Mexico could afford the tickets for a Canelo Alvarez fight? Who could afford it? Because I suspect that if he fought in Mexico, which he doesn't, by the way, he doesn't, who's going to buy the tickets? Who's going to buy the tickets? What's that phrase, barrio? You think people in the barrio's going to, what is that? I don't know what the pesos is on that. Who's going to be able to afford the tickets and the drinks? Take the days off from work to get that done in Mexico, in Mexico City. I think that they're probably going to be rich. You think? Maybe they're going to be rich because that's the only people that can afford Canelo Alvarez fights in America. You got to have a lot of money to go to Canelo Alvarez fight, friend. It's you casual fans that like that dude. No joke. And that's very, very obvious because people will tell you, dude, he needs to fight Charlo. Oscar De La Hoya ain't even lying about it. Oscar De La Hoya is like, man, if it was me, I'd fight Charlo. I'd fight Charlo and Benavidez. Benavidez, whatever, man. Benavidez. That's how I know y'all casual fans too, complaining about my pronunciation of Benavidez or Benavidez, whatever his name is, bro. Him. Freaking Flyer said Mayweather versus Ray Leonard right now. They both train. Who wins right now? Phenon. Tyson and Roy did it. Those two probably could get away with it. Oh man, Mayweather, man, come on. That's a huge. One is 65. Much love in the super chat. One guy is 65, and the other guy is in his mid 40s, man. Come on, man. Mid 40s versus 60s. Come on, man. Dude, one was in the 1976 Olympics, and the other one was in the 1996 Olympics. 20-year age difference, man. Come on, man. Anyway, man, y'all do the hey, man, and thank you guys so much for your support in the super chat today and in the Cash App, brother. It is really appreciated, and I'm sorry for allowing Canelo Alvarez fans to hijack the chat, but it is what it is, brother. You know dang on well, bro, what is going on with this nonsense, man. And on top of it, y'all should just be ashamed. You should be more ashamed for supporting it than anything else, man. I'm not buying that fight. Anyway, Anthony A said, I agree, casual sneaks, Canelo's the GOAT. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so. Juan Mendoza. Listen to me, Juan Mendoza. Not everyone in Mexico are broke. Come on. Of course not. What I said was, who do you think is going to be able to afford the tickets? What is the population of Mexico City? Isn't Mexico City like the biggest city in the world? Don't they got like 10 million people there? Who's going to be able to buy the tickets? People that can afford them, Juan. Who's going to be able to afford Canelo Alvarez tickets? They're going to be priced through the roof. Like boxing matches are, like his tickets are priced through the roof here. Now, would you like to know how much it costs to get a Canelo Alvarez ticket in the United States? In Las Vegas? The nosebleed seats are $700 for nosebleeds. So let's do dollar to Mexican pesos conversion. It's 20 to 1. So 700 American dollars is 14,000 Mexican pesos. So let's do the average pesos per year for Mexican citizen. Not difficult, friend. All righty. So the average pesos, the Mexican worker usually earns an annual average. This is the average of 398,000 pesos. Okay? That is, and so it would cost 39,000 300, is that right? Yeah, 398,000 pesos. It costs 14,000 pesos to get into the fight. So let's do 14,000 times 12. Or, excuse me, let's do 398,000 divided by 12 to get the average monthly salary. 398,000 divided by 12, and this is the average, this is middle of the line, is 33,166. So you're telling me that they're going to give up 2 weeks of pay for one Canelo Alvarez ticket? If you were to get to take your friend there with you, it would be the average person's entire monthly salary to get in. A monthly salary. So let's see what the average salary is in the United States. We already know it. It's like it's ridiculous, okay? Let's just say a whole lot of people cannot afford that. Just like people couldn't afford Floyd Mayweather Jr. tickets in the United States. Who goes to the United States? Who gets Floyd Mayweather Jr. tickets in the United States? Wealthy people get them. And that's just really the facts, okay? Broderick Hunter, don't do that. They got millions of Mexicans in Mexico, man. Are you saying Mexicans can't afford a tech? Man, shut up, Brooklyn's finest. Shut up. Yes, there's plenty of Mexicans that can afford it. Rich ones. Just like there's plenty of black people that can afford a Bugatti. You know which ones? Rich ones. Come on, man. Stop trying cornball tactics, bro. You know what I mean? I didn't diss Bivol. I didn't diss him at all. I told you the truth. I told you what I thought about him. I don't think he's that good a fighter, and I don't care about the fight. I ain't dissed him just like I'm not dissing Joe Smith. I don't care about the fight. He might as well be fighting Joe Smith. No joke. He might as well be fighting Joe Smith. I could care less. No joke. What do you want me to say? That I want to see a Bivol fight? I don't. I'd rather see Chocolatito. No joke. I'm more excited about Roman Gonzalez versus Juan Cesar Martinez than I am for Canelo Alvarez Bivol. I could care less about that fight. I already know who's going to win. I don't care. Period. And don't sit up here acting like something's wrong with me for saying that Canelo Alvarez's tickets are going to be expensive, because they are. I could not afford a Canelo Alvarez ticket in Mexico. No way. It's a homecoming fight in Mexico City. The ticket prices are going to be through the roof. No joke. Because they got a lot of rich people in Mexico too. Lots of them. And they will all come together, and they will all be wearing their Rado watches, and they'll be driving their BMWs, and they'll be in their cars, and they'll all be playing their music, and there'll be all kind of stuff going on, and they'll have a great time. However, there's going to be the vast majority of people that will not be able to afford that. Just like Floyd Mayweather Jr. fights. Just like an Errol Spence Jr. fight. Most people can't afford it. Most people can't afford Errol Spence Jr. fights. If you got to pay over $500 for a ticket, they're going to look at you like, sorry, can't do that. Boxing is very expensive. They can't afford NBA tickets. Seriously. Anyway, Mirahai Assassin said, personally, I ain't watching another Canelo fight till he fights somebody I already know. I'll watch it. I'm not going to lie. I'll watch the fight. I'm not paying for it, though. I'm done with that. I've already paid Canelo Alvarez $80 for the last fight or whatever that was. I paid for that fight because that fight is not you trying to get over on me. At a certain point in time, you're trying to get over on me, bro. No joke. Certain point in time, Anthony, I keep seeing you come back around, brother. I'll get you. Anthony Boyce said, what is the exchange rate for the UK pound? It's in the positive. The UK, your money, you got less money in the UK than you do in the United States. The thing with the UK, though, is that they don't allow price gouging. The UK does not allow price gouging. They're not ruthlessly capitalistic in the UK. They're not going to allow you to price gouge boxing fans for pay-per-view prices, and they're not going to allow you to price gouge on tickets. They don't allow you to resell the tickets. They're not going to allow somebody to buy they don't allow people to buy a bunch of tickets and then before they even hit the market, mark them up, call it a sellout, and then mark it up by 100%. Mark it up by 1,000%. They don't allow you to do that in the UK. They made that illegal. But in the United States, they do that. That's why the tickets are so expensive. You know what I mean? Just Ty Lynn said, I think Charlo should just call Canelo a few MFers. No, maybe Canelo's feathers will get rougher. No, he won't do that. No way. They'll say, no, oh, you cussed at me. You don't get any fight. That's what he'll say. You're asking for a fight from me. No. You've insulted me. No. Ain't nothing going to get that dude to fight somebody, man. I'm trying to tell you, he's on his pajama tour. You know what I'm saying? He's on his world tour with his pajama set, my man. That's what he's on, bro. The fuck? Man, these dudes out here just destroying stuff for no goddamn reason, bro. Come on, man. The fuck is this? Anyway, sorry. Yeah. I think the American dollar is worth like 80 cents to the UK, something like that. But wherever you hear pounds are worth more. The pound is worth more than a dollar. Yeah, he said, oh, you're a horrible fighter, and he won't fight him. You know what I mean? Anyway, enough Canelo, though, man. I'm sick of Canelo. Let's get back on Terence Crawford, bro. Somebody that will fight somebody. Somebody, dude, you know, honestly, man, there should be less superstars in boxing. I've changed my mind, man. There should be less superstars in boxing. They should drive the market down. Like, they should drive the market down so these guys make less. I have never thought I would say this. They need to make less money. For the boxing fan to get what they want, they need to be paid less money. They get paid too much money. That's what it is, dog. And I hate to say it, you guys don't deserve your money. You don't deserve it. I would always say fighters out there, because they risk their lives, they deserve to make as much money. Hey, let me tell you something, man. At this point in time, no, you don't. You're overcharging me. You're overcharging me. Way overcharging me for boxing. I work for my money. I deserve my money. You work for your money. You deserve your money. I do agree that you deserve more, to get paid more money for the fight than I should be able to buy the fight for. But at a certain point in time, dude, you guys are just ripping me off. This Canelo Alvarez fight is, I'm telling you, you Canelo fans can say what you want. You're getting ripped off. That fight is not worth $80. For all you guys who want to complain about Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin, at least I didn't know who was going to win the fight. Do you know what I mean? At least I didn't know. You guys are going to complain about Ugas and Spence. At least I'm nowhere near as sure about the outcome of that fight as I am Canelo versus Bivol. And trust me, it ain't got anything to do. Like, dude, seriously, Devin Haney fights more competitive fights. Devin Haney's fights are more competitive than Canelo's. Canelo's not taking on any challenges, man. Hey, Sin said, Mr. Gary Russell Jr. alluded to the same thing, Fanon. Basically, don't pay for the fight if it ain't worth it. Yeah, dude, I'm serious, man. I'm not paying for that crap no more. I'm done. I'm done with it, man. Like, seriously, I'm done with it. I'm not paying for that nonsense. Not paying for it, man. And I advise you guys not to pay for it. If it is not a real good, if it's not a good fight, don't pay for that. Canelo especially. If you want to support some younger fighters, I don't mind. Like, if that's the only way that fight's going to happen, you know, I didn't mind. Like, I didn't mind Luis Ortiz supporting Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin. I didn't mind it because I know what they're doing with that. That's a cost center, and they're trying to make it so these guys can get paid anything. You know what I mean? In that type of situation. But Canelo, it's price gouging, man. And DAZN to charge, and the only reason DAZN charged the $80 is so that they could say they had an upside on it. You know what I'm saying? So they had an upside. So they can have an upside to say, oh, we'll put it on pay-per-view so it's not just guarantee. We'll create pay-per-view and pay you more money so we can sell it to some suckers. Who we lied to and said we would never have pay-per-view. Right? With all these guys that were pay-per-view's dead, now they're happy as can be. Do you hear anybody complaining about Canelo on? Yeah, some people are telling me that they're complaining about it. Like, man, please. I hope they get I hope this thing flops. I'm going to be like Rick Glazier and just hope it flops and tell people it flopped. Good, more than likely it'll flop. On pay-per-view, come on, man. I'm not paying for that nonsense. Ron Turner, you need to be mad at boxing, not Canelo, because boxing made these guys Canelo fighting champ. No. I need to be mad at Canelo. Canelo is what's boxing? What does that mean, Ramin? I'm supposed to be mad at some I can't put my finger on it concept called boxing? You need to be mad at politics. You just need to be mad at basketball. What about boxing? I should be mad at the gloves or the ring if I can't be mad at the boxer. What exact? No, Canelo. I know Canelo. He said, damn, for now, you telling people not to buy the fight? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, pay for it if you want. I'm telling you getting suckered. I'm not getting suckered on that, dude. I'm done. With Canelo paying for Canelo fights, I'll never pay. Until Canelo fights Jamal Charlo, I'm not paying for it. No way. No way. Anthony A said, after Boo Boo beats Zach at 168, what's next? He getting ducked again. Much love in that super chat. Eventually Benavidez and Charlo and those guys are going to fight each other at some point in time, I think. It depends, though. Is Canelo going to be allowed to hold all the belts at 168 while those guys fight each other for no belts? So that the boxing world so that Canelo can be historic? I don't know, man. What's up with them? Boxing isn't stopping Canelo from fighting Charlo. No, Canelo is, man. Canelo ain't taking that fight, man. What's going on? Sipping and dipping in the building. It says, shout out to Fanon in the chat. And most importantly, my wife for listening to us boxing talk at 7 a.m. Shout out to you for being in Cali and listening this early, man. Edwin Carbajal said, fortunately or unfortunately, it won't flop. Canelo's feeling is large. It can flop, Edwin. It can flop. His following is not as big. I'm telling you, his following is not as big as Floyd's. And those guys don't have a pay-per-view mechanism that's proven. It's not. It can flop. It absolutely positively, because it's not just Canelo has to have that fight distributed. And if you can't have it, you're having it distributed by a person in their very first pay-per-view. DAZN doesn't have a pay-per-view model. And their customers don't like pay-per-view. And in the UK, and especially UK. Hey, James A. Vaughn said, hey, Fanon, Cali is listening to this early. Thank you, brother. That's what's up. Rip Jones said, I'm in Vallejo, California. Brother, that's cool, because I didn't think I had hardly any California people in here because of the time, man. Anyway, man, all I'm going to tell you is I'm not paying for that. You guys can pay for it. Yeah, obviously he's getting paid. I don't care if he get paid. I'm telling you what I'm not doing. I don't hope he goes broke. You know what I mean? Well, I'm not wishing misery on the man. I'm telling you what I'm not doing with my money. What he gets in his pocket is whatever. I hope the dang thing flops though. I ain't gonna lie, because if they keep doing this crap, we're gonna keep seeing this crap. It's garbage fight, man, and you know it. It's a garbage fight. 702 in the house. What's going on? That's what's up, CVP Jr. Oh, brother. Hey, man, it's CVP Jr., man. Much love in that Cash App this weekend. Brother, thank you so much. I saw you sometimes Cash App in between. And by the way, everybody that supports in the Super Chat and the Cash App, brother, thank you guys so much for your support, man. Muad Nazar said, much love from Singapore. That's what's up, man. Shout out to Singapore, man. Burks Law said, hurry up and retire, Canelo. Non-casual fans are bored with your shenanigans. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, 916 Sacktown. That's what's up. Team Money Paper in the building. That's what's up. Terry Schmoo said, Orange County, California, been rocking with you strong. Yes, sir. Much love in that super chat, brother. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, man. Hey, Ron Miller said, why couldn't Eddie put up the money for Canelo versus Andrade? Because Andrade can win that fight. Easy. Because, dude, in order to have a 2-fight deal, you have to be able to be confident you can get through those 2 fights. No joke. And you guys are missing that. Certain people are missing that in the equation. Shout out to Riverside County, brother. You guys are missing that. They know Canelo's getting through those 2 fights. Know it. That's called matchmaking. They know they're getting through those fights. They're easier fights. And that's what you guys want to keep arguing about. The more Canelo got offered more money for more difficult fights. He took less money for easier fights. And you want to act like, who are these other guys? Dude, they are more difficult fights. Just because you don't know it doesn't mean Canelo don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's easy. He knew he was getting through those. He's already talking about what he's going to do in December. Eddie Reynoso said, and we're doing this in December. Dude, how much further can you look past somebody than that? He's overlooking both of them and talking about who he's going to fight in December, because those are not serious fights. Bivol is not very good, okay? He is part of that hype machine that they were kicking out about 10 years ago, where they were like, oh, Eastern Europeans are taking over boxing, and it didn't pan out. They all got beat. It didn't pan out. They all got beat with the exception of Alexander Usyk. To date. And if he fights Tyson Fury, more likely he's going to get beat. But man, my goodness. Terry Schmoot. Oh my, somebody said I missed the super chat, brother. Hold on 1 second. Robert Robles. Hold on 1 second. I'll grab it real quick, man. I'm sorry, man. Thank you for letting me know when I missed super chats too. Now Mexicans can't afford fights. Man, I ain't never said Mexicans can't afford fights. What I said, my friend, was that plenty of rich Mexicans can afford fights. And they got a lot of them, I'm sure. They got a lot of upper middle class, more than enough to fill a stadium. Hold on, my bad. Hold on. Oh, I don't think I missed it, Robert Robles. I think you're behind in the chat, Robert. Oh, my man, Robert Robles said, sorry about that, said, thank you, OG. It's not easy keeping up in the chat. Yeah, okay, I got you. That's the only Robert Robles. That's the one, and I said I saw that, and I didn't gong you though. Much love, man. Thank you so much for that super chat, brother. No joke. That's much appreciated, brother. Thank you, Robert Robles. Sorry that I missed that, man. Hey, y'all, can we get them likes over 400 though? That would be great if you could get the likes over 400. Excuse me. Jason Mead said, Shalimbe and Barrera were good fighters when Ward fought them. Why they not when Bivol fought them? Pardon me. Did you ever hear me say that Isaac Chilembe was better than they're not Charlo level fighters when Andre Ward fought him? Didn't say that. You're making that up. Did you? And another question: did you have somebody you wanted? Did you have somebody better for Andrade for Ward to fight? Ward fought Chad Dawson. Ward fought Kovalev. Ward fought Carl Froch. Ward went into a tournament called the Super Six and beat all of those guys. He beat Mikkel Kessler. He fought all those guys. What do you mean? And he didn't have a choice as to who to fight. And all those belts were not on the line. He won. He literally beat all of the best 168 pounders. Not all of the ones that had titles. All of the best ones. In a tournament called the Super Six. I never said Isaac Chilembe was a great fighter. And by the way, Bivol beat Barrera years after Andre Ward did. But come on, man. Stop acting like that dude is some killer, man. Like, on the real. Please stop talking about Bivol like you think that dude is some top-notch fighter. Stone Bars in the building said, better than radio, man. Lighten it up right now. Lighten up right now. Thank you. Brother, hey, man. Yep, man. Much love, Stoner Bars. Thank you, brother. System, oh, my bad. Edwin, much love in that Jim Jean-Pierre in that Cash App, brother. Thank you so much for holding down the chat, brother. Thank you, man. He said, blessings, bro, and good morning. Thank you, brother, and good morning to you. And also in that Cash App, my man, Edwin Carbajal, thank you so much for your support, brother. And that Cash App said with the boxing and the fist. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much, man. And my man, Matt, 2435 said Canelo and Charlo would fill a stadium in Texas to make way more than Bivol. I would pay to see it. Yeah, I'd pay to see it. But man, look, these guys are going to pay Canelo not to fight him. Seriously, they're just paying him not to fight him. They offered him all that money not to fight him. It's silly, man. Matt 2335. Hey, it's just anyway, man. It's obviously Fanon, the cartel would be Cartello tickets for an Alvaroid fight. Yeah, whatever. Whoever gonna pay you. I don't want to put them on. I'm not gonna talk about. I'm not gonna make any associations between wealthy Mexicans and crime. There are plenty of businesses, plenty of legitimate people in Mexico to make a ton of money in order to be able to go to fights. You know what I mean? I don't doubt that there are. I'm not putting that on Mexican. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting any of that on anybody. All I'm saying is, please don't act like Canelo is universally loved. You make no sense. That's because you're stupid, Stay Mav. No worries. I'm sure advanced quantum physics doesn't make sense to you. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not maybe you should think harder. You make no sense. Yeah. It's a whole lot of people in here think I'm making sense. Maybe you just ain't very bright. Rip Jones in that super chat, brother. Much love in that super chat. He said, Canelo beating the game with easy difficulty and wants to claim all the benefits of legacy difficult gaming analogy. Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm done, man. I'm not, I mean, it's just seriously, man. Ain't no way in the world he passed up that. And he's using those guys as bait to get more money for easy fights too, which is ridiculous, man. Oh, we're still negotiating. I'm still driving the other guy's prices up. You know what I mean? Anyway, he said, my homie Gary Ant looked good this weekend. Oh, yeah, Gary Antoine, no doubt about it, man. Eric Stojan said, oh, yeah, because he's going to beat Gary Russell. He's going to beat Devin Haney. Let me throw it out there. Beats Devin Haney, dog. You better keep Devin over there at 135. It's kind of hectic up there at 130, at 140. Better get that fight. Hope he gets that fight with Kambosos. And don't get robbed. Because, dog, if he can't knock that dude out, he's going to get robbed up. He needs a knockout, bro. Eric Stozer, Fanon, what about Benavidez or Dez? Benavidez? I always say Benavidez. I don't say Benavidez. If you say I need to pronounce it David Benavidez instead of Benavidez, that's a D in that. Anyway, what What about David Benavidez? Would you pay for that? I believe. Yeah, absolutely. I pay for David Benavidez. Tez. Absolutely. I would pay for David Benavidez. Nah, you tripping. It's 50-50. Nah, he's going to beat him. Yeah, I don't think it's 50-50, 70-30. Nah, 70-30, man. He's not going to like that. Way too much. You know the style that I said beats Devin Haney? That aggressive guy that cuts off the ring, they can slip shots and counter you and keep you off and keep you and pin you on it. That's Gary Russell. That's Gary Antoine Russell. Gary Antoine Russell don't know. Gary Antoine Russell's going to beat him. Styles make fights for me. That's a bad style for him because he doesn't punch hard. I'm just telling you. That's what I see. Give me Gary Antoine Russell in that fight. No joke. I'll take Gary Antoine Russell because Gary Antoine Russell can crack, and he's got very fast hands, and he's a very smart fighter, and he's an aggressive fighter. I think that is a lot of trouble. I think that's a lot of trouble, and quite honestly, if Gary and the JoJo Diaz fight, that's not JoJo Diaz. That's a guy that's bigger than him, tall as he is. Big as he is, long as he is, he will keep him off him with what? With what? I don't see it, man. I'm telling you, I don't see it. I don't see it. And I don't think you guys, I think you wishful thinking on that one. No joke, AJ. I don't think so. I'm just telling you. If he can punch harder, yeah. If he can make him think and wait and all that, yeah. But if he can't crack, no. If that dude hits harder than way harder than Linares. Way harder than Linares. Way harder than Linares. Dude, he just knocked out Victor Postol, and you can say what you want about that stoppage being BS. He cracked that boy up out of there. And if that was a 12-round fight, that dude was going to go out. He hurt Victor Postol every time he hit him. And Victor Postol got a chin. Seriously. He hurt Victor Postol every time he hit him. I don't like that dude. I don't like that's a bad matchup for him. That's an aggressive, come forward, rough fighter, bro. I don't know how's he gonna keep him off of him. You know, if he had power, yeah, AJ, the stoppage was early, no doubt about it. I agree that it was stoppage earlier. That didn't mean he wasn't hurt badly. Postol was definitely hurt badly. I do think that fight was stopped early. But if that was going 12 rounds, he was going to get him out of there in 12 rounds. Just like, you know what it is? Just like, here's what I'll say. It's just as bad a stoppage as Sean Porter, as Kenny Porter throwing in that towel for Terence for Sean Porter. That knockout was going to happen, dude. That knockout, if that was 12 rounds, that knockout was going to happen. Victor Postol was getting hit on the regular and getting cracked really nicely. I'm just telling you. You can say what you want about my bias. Ashton Hampton, you a double standard dog because you didn't say that when. First of all, that's not a double standard. I did say that. First of all, I said that there were both bad stoppages. Both of them. I did. I said it was inevitable. I didn't doubt that he would get him, but Sean Porter is better than Victor Postol. Anyway, Fanon ducking at Subriel Matias. How am I ducking Subriel Matias? It would be a good fight. I don't know if. Let me tell you, Subriel Matias beating Devin Haney too. What are you talking about? Subriel Matias is gonna beat him too. I mean, I don't know if he beats Subriel. Dude, Subriel, that Puerto Rican dude can go. I'm not ducking that. I'm just telling you, Devin Haney going to 140 against him, that's going to, hey, man, I don't believe him. I'm just telling you. And you don't believe him either. That's what I'm telling you. I know what y'all really think and what y'all say are often two different things. Robert Robles saying, man, and thank you guys so much for the support and the super chat and the cash app, brother. Y'all stay steady. Y'all stay supporting. It means a lot, man, because a whole lot of cats definitely want me shut down. And it ain't happening because you guys keep on supporting. Thank you, brother. Said, hey, Fanon, that tells you he's cherry picking. He's looking past fighters, and this time he's looking past 2 fighters. You know he's winning. Exactly. Dude is looking past him. He can't look past Charlo. I'm telling you. He can't look past Charlo. Can't be like, yeah, give me that, and then I'm going to fight this dude, and I'm going to fight somebody in December? Man, nah, you're not doing that with Charlo. Y'all going to be nervous when that fight stops. I'm not nervous at all for our daggone Bivol fight. I already know what's happening, bro. Quincy Carter said, Kenny saved Sean. Bud was going to knock him out with a devastating continue. Hey, probably. But I said they were both bad stoppages because he wasn't hurt. Dude, he pounded the canvas and was yelling. That dude, he wasn't even buzzed. That's the truth. He was not even buzzed. He was talking way too clearly. He was like, God dog, man, how did I just get knocked down? God dog. Hey, give me a mic. How did I get knocked down? Dude, he was having full sentences. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Burke's Law said they raging on you about Spanish pronunciation for 9. Ask him to pronounce Barcelona Spanish style. GAR, are they bugging up? GAR, Gary Antoine Russell, are they bigging up another Russell fighter? They need to fight Taylor in Scotland. In Scotland. Yeah, let me tell you something, man. I'm not from Mexico. I don't speak Spanish, so whatever. I see a D, I pronounce it with a D. Okay? Duh. I don't see David. Do I say David? David Benavidez? Okay? David? You know what I mean? Since when did the D turn into a T? I never heard that before. I always hear the D. You say T. Why you keep changing his name? But David Benavidez. It has a D in it. Martinez has a T in it. Martinez is a T, not a D. You know? Mike the Dealer said it's a D for 9. Don't listen to the trolls. Yeah, like, I don't even get it. Like, Martinez is the T. David Benavidez. Anyway, man. David Ramirez said, you said Benavidez right for 9. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. You said it's pronounced like Des Bryant. Bryant's dude, it's a D. It's not a T. I don't know what you want me to do. All right. Anyway, Rizzler said, hey, Fanon, what do you think about people who say David Benavidez is tailor-made for Canelo because of his fighting style? He keeps his hands down and will eat all Canelo shots. I think they do not understand how if Canelo Alvarez comes close to David Benavidez, how he's going to get hit about 30 times in 2 seconds. David Benavidez got probably the fastest hands above 135. I think he's got the fastest hands above 135. No joke. fastest hands in boxing above 135 pounds is David Benavidez. His hands are so much faster than Canelo. He said Benavidez. That's what I said, Benavidez. Anyway, I'm sick of that. I'm done with that. He said I think he got the fastest hands of anybody above 135 pounds. No joke. He's got Gary Russell Jr. speed. A prime Gary. He's not quite as fast as a prime Gary Russell Jr., but he has faster hands than, for example, he's got faster hands than Terence Crawford does. He's got faster hands than Errol Spence does. He got faster hands. His hands are as faster than Jaron Ennis. His hands are blazing. Blazing hand speed, man. Crazy hand speed. Jim Jean-Pierre said, better than TV for sure. Won't let them shut you down, bro. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you for the support. Thank you so much for that support. SA said, you are pronouncing it correctly, Fanon. Thank you, brother. No, seriously, tell me. I would love to hear it. Grindhard, who throws faster combinations? Yeah, faster hands than Boo Boo. Yeah. His combination punching, definitely faster. Wow. Man, no joke. He got slow feet. But them hands are ridiculously fast, man. Like, Vrow. Like, you go look at one of his combos. Go look at his when he gets somebody hurt, look at them combos. Vrow. Super fast, man. Vrow. And they hurt. You know what I'm saying? Vrow. And they hurt. So that's what I think they see in David Benavidez. No joke, man. Roy Jones Jr. speed. He doesn't have his reflexes, but top hand speed, yeah. I would say with his, oh God. Man, I don't want to compare them as fighters, but just go look at his hand speed, man. No joke. Just go look at his hand speed. I'm just going to tell you, because it's not obvious, because he's a plodding fighter, right? Because he's a come forward fighter and he's a plodding fighter. But if you look at his combination punching, no joke, I don't know anybody above that is that fast. No joke. He will hit you with a 6-punch combination like that. They're real tight. They're real in close, but they just go vrow. He runs them off like vrow. Man, David Benavidez is fast, man. No joke. Anyway, he said his last fight was where that speed went the distance with a replacement. Hey, man, I'm just telling you, the man got fast hands. Canelo Alvarez went the distance with Caleb Plant. So, you know, whatever. It is what it is. A whole bunch of people do it. David is a Frankenstein straight monster, man. I'm just telling you about that man's hand speed. That man's hand speed is no joke, bro. Said, watch out for El Rayo, who trains with Benavidez, different types of speed. Yeah, I mean, you know, I would let some, you know, I'm just telling you that he's a lot faster than Canelo. A lot faster than Canelo. He's a lot bigger. He's a lot faster. He's a lot faster than Caleb Plant. A lot faster than Caleb Plant. Are you crazy as hell? He's not as fast as Floyd. He might be more busy. Dude, civilized canine. First of all, dude, you can get the fuck out. Because what I said is I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to tell you is go look at him. Go look at him is what I said. Look at his combination punching. And you make up your own mind on how fast he is. He is blazing fast. His hands are blazing fast. Not kind of fast, blazing fast. No joke. Go look at him. And you tell me how fast he is. Okay? You're not going to trap me into comparing him to Roy Jones Jr. because I don't know. I'm telling you. I don't know. I would have to time it. I don't know how much faster that he is in a combination than David Benavidez is. They both look real fast to me. Vroom. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, John Boy said, I fall asleep. Who messing with the old man? Did you get my cash app? Much love in that super chat, John Boy. Much love. He said, I fell asleep. Who's messing with the old man? Let me check it out, man. I thought I did, but I could be wrong, brother. And no, I did not, John Boy. Oh yeah, I did. Is that earlier today? Yes, I did, John Boy. Much love in that cash app, brother. I did, and I did say thank you. And let me give you another gong, brother. Thank you so much. He said, blazing hand speed can't stop booming bombs. Y'all need to go watch Bruce Lee's Game of Death, who was on top tier. Man, I ain't watching no movie, Burke's Law, for that. David Benavidez can punch. All I'm saying is the dude is very, very fast. That's what I'm saying. Can he beat Canelo? Dude, I don't know. Will he beat Bivol? Yes. Okay? Bring on Bivol. All right? Bring on Bivol, Benavidez. I love to see it. Man, get out of here with that basic cookie board cut. Man, that 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Right. Jab, right hand, left hook. Slip. You know what I'm saying? Jab, right hook, slip. I mean, I'm just sorry. He's predictable, man. I don't believe him. You know what I mean? I don't believe him. I was waiting over a long time for me to see what people were talking about in Bivol. No, ain't no 50-50 fight. David Benavidez beating Bivol, man. You know what I'm saying? David Benavidez was getting outboxed by Durrell until he knocked him out, right? I could have sworn I saw Benavidez knock that boy out. That's what I could have. I thought. Am I missing something, or did he not knock that dude out? Did I miss something? Somebody let me know. I thought he knocked him out. Let me know though. Let me know if I'm wrong. I thought he knocked him out. Thought he knocked him out, but maybe I missed something. I could have sworn I saw Andre Durrell get knocked out. Benavidez training Bivol. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. Bivol is not beating David Benavidez. David Benavidez got too much talent for that guy, man. Too much talent, man, for him, man. Anyway, did he refresh my memory if I'm wrong? Didn't he get knocked out? I could have sworn he got knocked out. I thought David Benavidez knocked that dude out. Knocked out Anthony Durrell. And Anthony Durrell's a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter. Said it's not about the result. It is when a guy's walking you down trying to knock you out. It is when a guy's trying to walk you down. It is when a guy's trying to walk you down specifically to knock you out. You know what I mean? Yeah, 9th round. Thank you. Could have sworn. Could have sworn he got him out of there. Hey. But without defensive skills, you think he can survive Canelo? Honestly, yes, I do. I do. I do think he can survive Canelo. Yes, I do. Absolutely. I do. That's why I want to see the fight, man. Benavidez is a good fighter, man. He's not cookie cutter. He's not easy to prepare for. He's not basic, dude. He's not a robot, man. I'm sick of these Ivan Dragos, man. He's not Ivan Drago. He didn't come off the Ivan Drago manufacturer line. You know what I mean? That's why I like Usyk and I like Lomachenko. They didn't really come out. They didn't come up off of the conveyor belt, man. You know what I'm saying? They didn't come off that Russian conveyor belt where all the fighters look and fight the same. They look and fight the same. Those guys, and they're always a European style. This is what you do to them. No, I'm trying to tell you. Oh, how you going to beat him? Oh, is he one of them style fighters? You do this. Like, get out of here, man. He's fighting. Get out of here, man. Anyway, he said Durrell was getting his arse whooped in that Benavidez fight. Hey, man, of course he was, Tom, man. Somebody said results are overrated. I saw that, by the way. Yeah, man, results are overrated, man. Definitely overrated. But in that fight, man, come on, man. Correct. Benavidez will nullify Canelo. Look, man, I just want to see the good fights, man. And I'm sick of Canelo. I don't want to see the Bivol fight. It's like you're giving me a plate full of boiled carrots, boiled bland carrots and broccoli. You know what I mean? Like, oh God, it's going to be good for me, but it's not going to be tasty. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife makes Brussels sprouts. She makes them in the oven herself, cuts them, man. I love them. When we get them in the microwave packages and we just stick them in the microwave because it's a rush, right? And we just cut the package open and put them in. It's like, they're like very, very bland. They're just as good for you. You know what I mean? They're good for you. But, I don't want them. I'd rather have them sliced in half and roasted, Like my wife makes them. Love her Brussels sprouts. Don't like microwave Brussels sprouts. That's what you're giving me with this Bivol thing. Like even watching his fights is like boiled Brussels sprouts with no seasoning. Like, ugh. I don't care. I'm saying, like, literally, I don't care. It's like a Voracek fight without the knockout. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, this guy Voracek. He fights just like Voracek. He fights just like Voracek. He fights just like Kovalev without the power. Said word roasted. Yeah, them roasted broccoli sprouts are the bomb. You know what I mean? He's like Kovalev without the power. You know what I'm saying? He's like Kovalev without the power, and without the alcoholism. You know what I mean? Like, just stop. Honestly, I think Kovalev was a better fight than that. Javier Martinez, excuse me. Ward did not weight drain Dawson by making him go down to 168. No, he didn't. Andre Ward was the 168-pound champion, and Dawson said that he was going to move down to 168 and fight him. He didn't make him do anything. Andre Ward was the 168-pound champion, and Chad Dawson challenged him at 168. That was Chad Dawson's choice, not Ward's. That was Andre. He chose to do that, not Andre Ward. Grindhouse Sports Nation said, "Who should Jamal fight now? Canelo ducked him. I don't know, man. Whatever. Whoever he can get his hands on. You know, somebody that they're going to forget that Canelo Alvarez passed up $100 million. No, I don't respect that because he's not chasing history. You don't have to chase history. I don't respect that. He's not chasing history. History is what happens. He's going to be in history regardless. He's chasing easy money is what he's chasing. And he's got a hashtag. He's got a mark. Oh, chasing history. We don't need the hard fights because he's chasing history. How are you going to chase history? History's behind you. You can't chase it. You become the best you are today, and people will remember that you were the best. That's how that works. You know what I'm saying? They don't get up, I am chasing history. When did Ali chase history? You make history. You don't chase it. And he doesn't have any hate. He doesn't have any say so. Because I'm telling you, it ain't going to work. Because at the end of the day, the guy, he's not going to fight the best guy. He is the best today, man. He ain't the best. Prove it. He may be the best. And a chance to go undisputed. Why? What you mean? A chance to go undisputed makes you historic. Name 4 people Jermaine Taylor fought. And I'll have some respect for you. And I'm going to wait on your answer. Name 4 people Jermaine Taylor fought. Thank you. He wants to become one of the what? 150 undisputed champions? History's behind you, man. It's behind you. And you don't get to tell people. And they forget guys like that. Gennady Golovkin was historic too. Whatever, man. Who are the guys he fought? Is what people are going to say. And the fact of the matter is if you don't fight, and by the way, you can run into dudes that will beat you. He already lost to Floyd. That's his history. He's not the best of his era because he lost to the best fighter of his era. That's a wrap. We already know he's not the best. He lost to Floyd. So you think he's going to make up for losing to Floyd by beating a bunch of Eastern Europeans at a tweener weight class like 175? Stop. He lost. Yeah, at 23. 2 years. He was a year older than when Ali took made history and beat Sonny Liston. As an underdog. Sorry, been there, done that. Other people in his situation didn't lose. Let's see. How old was Roy Jones Jr. when he beat James Toney? Roy Jones Jr. was born in 1969. I know how old he is. So let's see. Roy Jones Jr. box rec. Let's see how old Roy was when he got his first big shot against James Toney. He was 24 years old. And he beat James Toney. Unanimous decision against a 44-0 James Toney. Same age as Canelo. He was younger than that when he beat Bernard Hopkins. He was 23 when he beat Bernard Hopkins. Floyd was he missed it. Sorry. Plenty of guys beat 37-year-old men when they were 23 years old. And you know they usually say throughout history when a 23-year-old fights a 37-year-old, they're like the young guy is fighting an old guy. Floyd was almost 40 years old when he fought Canelo. He didn't fight a 28-year-old. He didn't fight a 28-year-old he didn't fight a 28-year-old Floyd Mayweather Jr. He fought a 37-year-old Floyd Mayweather Jr. Hunter Young said it's a difference in legacy history and record book history. Legacy fighting versus winning belts. Much love in the super chat, bro. Let me tell you, somebody gonna come. Dude, the only reason that somebody was not already undisputed at 168 is because of how expensive it is. There's a price barrier to that. There's a price barrier to it, and there's a promotional barrier to it. In order for you to become undisputed, you can't have any political barriers in your way. That is the number one thing to be an undisputed. You can't have any political issue, keeping you from fighting the other guy. The other guy has to agree to fight with you. The other promoter has to agree to fight you. That's why people don't go undisputed. Don't act like it's because nobody could. There's never a guy that's been able to prove in the ring that he was the best at 168. It's not true. Everybody and their mama knows that Andre Ward was the 168-pound champion. Everybody knows it. There's no question about Andre Ward at 168, whether or not he was the top guy at 168. And matter of fact, let me do something. Because I do think that this is interesting, so I can rub this in y'all's faces later on. And much love to everybody that supported this in the Super Chat and the Cash App. You guys really make the channel go and allow me to box these dudes up. But let's go to Andre Ward and BoxRec. Okay? Andre Ward, who fought at 168. He was the WBC and the WBC and the WBA champion at 168 in 2012. Let me see, and I have a suspicion I already know the answer. I have a suspicion I already know the answer to this. But let me check and see when he retired. Oh, nope, he retired. So who was the WBO one at that time? In the WBO champion at the time. Arthur Abram. Right? Who you already beat. This is going to be a little interesting here. So Andre Ward had two belts in 2011. So in the end of 2011, who held the belt for the WBO? Robert Stitzlinger from Germany, who never fought outside of Germany. Matter of fact, got dogged. Nobody ever held that until Gilberto Ramirez that wasn't German. Oh, no, they held the belts for years. Robert Sticklinger. So he didn't fight Robert Sticklinger. Because he didn't get a fight with Robert Sticklinger. What's the other one he didn't have? He didn't have the IBF. So who owns the IBF at that time? Oh, God, it's hilarious. All I got to do is go to Sal Alvarez, and then let me go see, because he's the IBF guy, right? So let's see who had the IBF at the time. The IBF at the end of 2011 was held by Lucien Boutte. So, who, by the way, got beat by Carl Froch, who he already beat. So, they held the belt in, they had Lucien Boutte and Stitzlinger. Boutte and Stitzlinger are the guys that Andre Ward didn't beat at the time he held the other two belts. Making history because he didn't get a fight with Stitzlinger and Lucien Boutte, who lost his belt to somebody Andre Ward already beat. The reason that he didn't get that fight is because Andre Ward was not getting paid $40 million a fight. But he's made history because he was able to do it and Andre Ward wasn't. Because Andre Ward didn't beat Stitzlinger. He didn't beat Lucien Boutte at 168. Oh, he would be historic all-time fighter if he was just able to beat Stitzlinger and Lucien Boutte. Do you see how that kind of sounds like manufactured to me? See why I call it manufactured? Say you see what I'm saying? That's a little manufactured, wouldn't you say it? Wouldn't you say? A little bit manufactured. That because Canelo was able to get the fights with Callum Smith, Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, and whoever. And that was it because he got two at one time. He's historic. Stop. If I told you, Andre Ward beat Stitzlinger, I have a real hard time believing that you're going to give him any credit for beating Stitzlinger. Oh, the history books are going to remember the day Andre Ward beat Stitzlinger. Stop. Okay? Stop. It's just corny, brother. It's corny. You get my point? I think you get my point. You're manufacturing history is what you are. All right? You're doing the Mikey Garcia thing where you say, I want to be the first person to win 3 weight classes in 11 months. Hey, thanks for not being a Blacksmith Ross. Much love in that super chat, brother. Said, hey, thanks for not being biased, Fanon. You're right. It's politics when becoming undisputed. Roy Jones never wanted a promoter, so he was blamed for not fighting other because promoters kept their fighter away. Exactly. Like you're going to blame Deontay Wilder for not fighting. Well, Deontay Wilder never became undisputed. Yeah, because the other guy wouldn't fight him. Because he wouldn't fight him. He wouldn't get in the ring with him. Where everybody else wanted to fight because they were paying him because you got more money for an easier fight against a less dangerous fight against Anthony Joshua. So they went to fight him and they wouldn't fight Wilder. Joshua wouldn't fight Wilder. But Wilder, he ever did his hold one belt. That's not historic. But then at the same time, you'll be like, well, Deontay, why are you hiding behind this other side of the street stuff? It's just what it is, man. Come on, man. Be fair to people, man. Huge EMC said Canelo could be chasing history by unifying at 154 against Andrade years ago and fighting Charlo at 60. Oh, excuse me. Unifying against Andrade at 154, becoming undisputed at 160 with Demetrius Andrade. He only had to fight Demetrius Andrade at 160 to become undisputed, and they didn't want the fight. For some reason, being undisputed at 160 isn't historic, but being undisputed at 168 is historic. Even though the vast majority of boxing history, they were undisputed at 160. Most of the great fighters never even fought at 168. It's a weight class that just came around. Anyway, it's just silly to me, man. He said, hey, Ramos, I'm getting the feeling that Usyk might vacate his belts. He may. No, he may. if he has to go to war, and it don't look like that's going to go away anytime soon, because it looks like they trying to snatch that up, and they don't care too much about boxing. So, you know what I'm saying? They ain't going to stop doing that because of some boxing matches. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. My dog was, but my niece's dog was barking, and I had to tell her to stop. Anyway, Civilized K9 said, I don't know if I missed it, but Royd was 25 when he fought James and won, and Ali was 22, literally just turned 22 when he beat. Hold on a second. Shut up. All right. Hurry C said what? So Politics didn't play a part in what? Didn't play a part in what? Yeah, I don't know what you're saying. Politics played a major part in what? Politics didn't play any part about Andrade, Canelo fighting Andrade. They both were fighting on the zone. They're both fighting on the zone. So no, it didn't play a part in that. Canelo could get that fight with Andrade easy. They're not with different sanctioning. They weren't with different promotional companies. They were fighting on the same network. So no, I don't think it did. Not like being in America and having the belts over in Germany to fighters that fight in Germany. Man, shut up, UMC, man. Come on, man. Please don't say stuff like that. Hold on a second, man. Please don't say. I appreciate it because I don't hit my dogs, man. There's no need to hit a dog if you raise them right. Ron Miller, even though I did crack this one dog one time, that old dog, because it got fancy with me and growled and got snippy with me. So I took out a little stick and whacked him on his leg very hard. And he has never done it again. He learned very, very quickly. Sorry, dude, no teeth, and you are giving me what I want. Back up. Robert Rose said, 8 for 9. As soon as Canelo sees fast feet and faster hands, he starts saying, you want payday? Dude. There's so, man, honestly, man, I'm sick of it. Hey, Walter Trance, I love the Biggie picture. Thanks, man. Fahim Sator said Canelo turned down $40 million to fight Andrade while they were still both on DAZN. Dude, he wasn't going to beat Andrade. That he ain't gonna win that fight. I'm telling you about the everybody else you can say you don't. I don't know how the fight's going to turn out. I believe I know how that fight's going to turn out with Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade is going to beat him, man. Demetrius Andrade is going to beat him. That's why he doesn't want that Demetrius Andrade fight, because that's the guy that's going to beat him. No joke. And I'll tell you what. It'll mess around. It'll mess around and be like a not the same style, as a Chris Colbert versus Hector Garcia. Definitely not that style, but like where somebody walks in, you're like, God dog. Like, what would be a good example of that? Where somebody walks in the ring where you just think this guy is surefire going to win, and you get in there and a guy just beats him the whole time. Maybe like a Guillermo Rigondeaux, Nonito Donaire type of situation, where it's like, I hate this guy because he just took all the money. He just killed our pocketbooks. That one. No joke. Gonna walk in there and do him like that. Like, yeah, man, you're swinging. You're gonna watch Canelo Alvarez swing for the fences for 12 rounds and get countered. And you're going to cry after the fight's over about how he was just running. That's all he did, is he just ran. Nah, not Braun or Maidana, because I want to get something that's more of a style. You know what I mean? Like more of the style, more of the same style. Where it's a guy that's just like you, like, wow, he made that look a lot easier than I thought it would. I didn't think he had a chance. I didn't think he had any chance in that. You know what I mean? Maybe Sugar Ray Leonard Hagler. Maybe like a Sugar Ray Leonard Hagler type of thing. I'm just telling you. You said Andrade's going to obliterate him. I mean, I don't know. I just think he's going to outbox him. Andrade, Canelo's going to have a very hard time landing punches, and he's going to get hit a lot. He's going to be plodding behind him for the first 8 rounds, and then people are going to be like, oh, he's going to press the gas, and that gas ain't never going to get pressed. No joke. I'm telling you, I don't, no. Lopez versus Kambosos. It's a different style. But the same, I can't believe this just happened type of thing. But while everybody knows, oh, we knew that was going to happen. Why don't you think he didn't want to fight him? You know what I mean? Didn't you see the Lara fight? Didn't you see the Mayweather fight? Didn't you see that? First of all, he knows all the combinations that Canelo were throwing. Oh, here it comes. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to do this. Barbara Davis said, hey, Fanon, just supporting the channel, learning a lot. Thanks for being informative, bro. My pleasure, Barbara Davis. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. No joke. Boxing by the Pound said, OG, I'm late. What's up? What we talking about? Right now, we just talking about it. Whatever, man. Whatever hits the deck, man. Pretty much. Pretty much whatever hit the deck, man. Burke's Law said, you know what? Light, heavyweight, and heavy, did they fight? Are they going to fight? Who? L and LW? I'm not sure what you mean by that, man. They will give it to Canelo if Boo Boo don't hurt him. Now I'm going to try to tell you. I think Andrade can beat him on the cards. I think he can straight up beat him on the cards. Straight up beat him on the cards. Straight up and down beat him on the cards. I think he can do it because I think he's going to hit Canelo with really big shots. Really big shots with really strange angles and really hit him. Not backing up and not doing like Caleb Plant did, touching him, moving, touching him. Oh, I think that was no, I mean like making Canelo miss and hitting him with very, very big shots that you cannot miss. Like an overhand right coming like boom, or an uppercut coming like boom, and then him moving out, hitting him with very big, very visible shots on a regular basis. I don't know I wouldn't say he's going to knock out Canelo, but on the real, that style, that's not good for Canelo. I'm telling you, because Canelo his foot speed is slow. His foot speed is slow, and he's just going to have to rely and hope that Demetrius Andrade gets tired in the later rounds. But Demetrius Andrade doesn't get tired in the later rounds like that. And he doesn't get easy to hit in the later rounds like that. Doesn't. VV Blitz. Hey, VV Blitz is a booker's best. You are a bookie's best friend. He said really big shots from really weird angles. I'm telling you, that's Boo Boo. Boo Boo hits people with really big shots from really weird angles. Like, why would he bop? You know what I'm saying? Bop. Gonna hit him with him. Really, dude, that's a tough guy to beat, man. R Strokes, what's up? He said, what's up with you, Fanon? Would love to see Boo Boo, Canelo and Boo Boo. Blessings to you, King. Blessings to you, brother. Billy Joe Saunders hit with Canelo with some hard shots. Yeah, but not a lot. He gassed, and he's just not as big he's not a big puncher. He doesn't puncher, man. Xavier Martinez said, I normally agree with you, but you're making it seem like it's going to be easy. Look, let me tell you, man. Certain styles, there'll be some, okay, let me put it this way. Yeah, I won't say easy, but convincing. I don't think it's going to be much different than Mayweather Canelo. I don't think it's going to be much different. Erislandy Lara beat him. I don't think it was easy for Lara to beat him, but he beat him. I'm not going to say it'll be easy. Most champions don't leave it. Yeah, but dude, I'm telling you, that's a bad matchup. Xavier Martinez, I agree with what you're saying. Definitely respect on that, and I agree with what you're saying. Man, that is a tough fight for him. I'm telling you, that is a tough fight for him. Tough fight for him. Like tough for a fight. It's tough, like tough on the Chicago Bears against a passing team with a passing team with a great rush defense. With a great rush against like the Chicago Bears against a passing team. Tough. You know what I'm saying? If it was a running team, they got a shot. If they like to pass that ball a lot, man, they're gonna win. Provided they got a good lineup, you know. Anyway, Caleb Plant was happy with dancing and conversing. After that, Canelo lowered the boom. Plant is soft compared to Canelo. Plant was star-stuck. Very much could be. Benavidez. Shadow Realm said Benavidez. What? I don't get you. Anyway, whatever, man. No doubt, no disrespect though on that. Whatever though. Lara did not beat Canelo. Just Ward did lose to Canelo. Man, please out here. Lara beat him, and Ward beat Kovalev. I'm not interested in that nonsense, man. You know perfectly well what I'm saying. You know perfectly well what I'm saying. You have not seen him in there with a southpaw. You ain't seen him in there with a southpaw. They could fight anything like Erislandy Lara since. And Billy Ho does not count. You know what I'm saying? Billy Ho Saunders does not count. Rex Chapman is not Michael Jordan. I don't care if he can pull off a dunk. It is what it is, man. I would favor Canelo in a late round stoppage in a tough fight. Yeah, I don't see that stoppage coming. I don't see that stoppage. I don't see it. I don't think he stops Charlo, and I don't think he stops him. I don't think it. I don't see it. And quite honestly, man, if your dude wasn't green, he might not have got knocked out. But that's Plant. You know what it is, man. Anyway, said Big Sharks, hey Fanon, what do you think? What style do you think will prevail against Roy Jones and Demetrius Andrade? Nothing against a prime Roy Jones. Nothing is the answer against Roy Jones. Bernard Hopkins, a very, very gritty inside fighter. A very good pressure fighter that is very, very gritty. Very, very gritty. And by the way, Tarver's a southpaw. That makes it difficult. But I don't think Tarver would beat, like the Roy Jones I'm talking about, I don't think Tarver beats him. But regardless, somebody that's like a Bernard Hopkins, somebody that's very, very gritty, somebody that can really, really fight on the inside and really make you work on the inside. Somebody like a James Toney, something like that. Yeah, all right, yeah, I got to get out of here, man. I didn't run over. Much love, man, because I got to go, man. I got work to do. Much love to everybody in the chat. Everybody, I wasn't even looking at the time. Much love in the chat. Much love in the super chat. And with that, I'm out. Hold on. Am I bringing up Rex Chapman? Yeah, because when you just brought up, I brought up Rex Chapman. Yeah. Rex Chapman was at Kentucky, and they swore to God this dude's going to be the next Michael Jordan. Like, man, it's college, and he ain't Jordan. But I liked Rex Chapman. He wound up being a good three-point shooter in the league. You know what I mean? Anyway, man, with that, I'm out. Peace. Be easy, AJ.